Hello everyone. Let's start the solutions of CAT 24 slot 1 QA. So let's see what kind of questions we are going to get. The first one is a fruit seller sells a total of 187 fruits consisting of apples, mangoes, and oranges. The number of apples and mangoes are in the ratio of 5:2. Okay, so I have apples, I have mangoes. So how many apples do I have? 5x. How many mangoes do we have? That is 2x. And we have oranges as well. So how many oranges we have? That is 187 minus 7x. Okay. The number of, after she sells 75 apples. Okay. So 75 apples and 26 mangoes and half the oranges. So divide by 2. Okay. So 187 minus 7x divide by 2. This much has been sold. Okay. And it says the ratio of unsold apples to the number of unsold oranges. So unsold apples are how many? That is 5x minus 75. And unsold oranges are how many? That is this minus this. This comes out to be 187 minus 7x divided by 2. And this is in the ratio of 3:2. Fair enough. So basically, this 3 is going to the numerator. So I'm going to get 10x minus 150 upon 187 minus 7x, and that is equal to 3:2. Okay, just cross multiply. So I am going to get 20x minus 300, and that is equal to 187 into 3. 3 is going to be so challenge 561 minus 21x. Okay, so from here I am going to get 41x, and that is equal to 861. Okay, so this is going to be x comes out to be 21. Okay, the number of unsold fruits are, okay, so basically initially how many this is initial number of apples are 105 and sold are 75. So how many apples are unsold? 30. This is 42. This is 16, 26. So how many are remaining? 16. And this is going to be 147. So how many oranges were there? 40. 20 were sold. So how many are remaining? 20. So total unsold are going to be 30 plus 16 plus 20. That is equal to 66. So answer of this question is going to be 66. Now let's move on to the next question. It says that Renu would take 15 days working 4 hours a day to complete a task, whereas Seema takes 8 days working 5 hours a day to complete a task. So how many hours Renu is taking? That is 60 hours. How many hours Seema is taking? That is 40 hours. So ratio of time is 3:2. So ratio of efficiency, I can say that is going to be 2:3. So efficiency of Renu is 2, efficiency of Seema is 3. Okay, they decide to work together to complete a task. Seema agrees to work for double the number of hours per day as Renu, while Renu agrees to double the number of days as Seema. Okay, Renu works 2 hours a day. Okay, so Renu is working 2 hours a day, and Seema should be working 4 hours a day because Seema agreed to work twice the number of hours. And if Seema is taking, let me go back to this again. Seema agrees to work double the number of hours, so 4 hours. Renu agrees to double the number of days. So if Seema is working for T days, or let's say D days, then Renu is working for 2D days. Okay. So I am assuming that efficiency of Renu is 2, efficiency of Seema is 3, and in 60 hours, Renu finishes the job. So what is the total work? That is going to be 60 into 2, or for Seema, I can say that is 40 into 3. So my total work is going to be 120. Now, Renu is working 2 hours a day, and her efficiency is 2. So in 1 day, she is going to do 4 units, and in 2D days, she is going to complete a total task of 8D. On the other hand, if I talk about Seema is working 4 hours a day and every hour she is doing 3 units. So she is going to do 12 units. And in D days, how much she is going to do? That is going to be 12D, and that should be equal to total work. That is 120. So 20D comes out to be 120. So here I can say D is equal to 6. So Seema is going to work for 6 days, and that's what question is asking. So my answer of this question is going to be 6. Now let's move on to question number 3. In September, the income of Kamal, Amal, and Bimal are in the ratio of 8:6:5. They rent a house together, and Kamal pays 15%, Amal pays 12%, and Bimal pays 18% of their respective incomes. Okay. So I am assuming that income of Kamal, Amal, and Vimal are 800, 600, and 500. Now Kamal pays 15%. 15% of 800 is going to be 120. Amal pays 12%. 12% of 600 is 72. And Bimal pays 18% of 500. That is 90. Okay. So total becomes, that is 210, 282. Okay. So the total rent, I can say it is going to be 82. Now, in October, what happened? The house rent is still same. That is still 282. On the other hand, income increased by 10, 12, and 15% respectively. So Kamal's income has become 880. Amal's income has increased by 12%. So 12% of this is 72. So his income becomes 672. And for Bimal, the income has become 575. So what is the total income we are talking about? That is 5, 7, 7, 7, 14 plus 2. This is 2. This is 14 plus, 10, 16, 21. Okay. So total income has become 2127. And this is, the rent is still unchanged. It says that house rent remains unchanged and income increases. So rent is still 282 and their income has become 2127. So what percent of the income the rent is? So now how I'm going to do it very quickly. I'm not going to use anything. I'm simply going to use calculator and get the answer. And answer in this case is going to be 13.26. And that's the answer of this question. Now let's see this question. What does it says? In a plane, in the XY plane, the area in the square and the regions are defined. Okay, fair enough. So first of all, I am going to say I have a line that is y is equal to x plus 4. Okay. So am I going to draw the line? Yes. So in coordinate, if x is 0, then y is 4. So I'm going to get something like here. X is 0, y is 4. If y is 0, then x is minus 4. So this is going to be something like this, and this is going to be like this. Now it says greater than. Greater than means I'm talking about this region where y is greater than x plus 4. Now, what do we have over here? Now, this is a very tricky thing. So minus 4 is less than equal to x square plus 4x plus y square minus 4y, and that is less than equal to 0. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to add 4 over here, I'm going to add 4 over here. So in the middle, I'm going to add 8. So in the LHS, I'm going to add 8, and RHS again going to add 8. Okay, so 4 less than equal to x plus 2 whole square and plus y minus 2 whole square, and that is equal to 8. So if you look very closely, so x plus k whole square plus y minus h whole square is equal to something is actually equation of a circle. And it is a circle that has center as h comma k. So this is the center of the circle is going to be this. And if I'm going to take this, so I can say this is 2 square and this is 2 root 2 square. So radius of the circle is going to lie between 2 and 2 root 2. Okay. Now, if I'm talking about minus 2 and 2, so if I put x equal to 2 over here, y becomes, if I put x equal to minus 2 over here, y becomes 2. So it means, so basically this point is 0, 4. This point is minus 4, 0. So if you see the midpoint itself is minus 2 comma 2, it means center of the circle is the midpoint of the line. Okay, and what is the distance from here to here? That is going to be 4 root 2. So this length is 4 root 2. Okay. Now I have two circles. One circle has a radius of 2. Second circle has a radius of 2 root 2. So I am drawing a circle that has a center as this. Radius is 2 root 2, means it must be touching 0, 4 and minus 4. And I'm going to draw a circle like this. And if I'm going to see, this is the region that I'm looking for. That is semicircle, right? If I'm going to take radius as 2, I am going to get a circle like this. That is like this. And I am looking for a region that is greater than this and less than this. Means I am talking about this region. And radius of the bigger circle is 2 root 2, radius of the smaller circle is 2. So how I'm going to calculate the area? I am going to calculate the area of bigger semicircle minus smaller semicircle. I'll get the required area. So what is the area of bigger semicircle? That is pi r square minus pi r square. Divide by 2, because we are talking about semicircle, not the total circle. So it is going to be 8 pi minus 4 pi divide by 2. So I am going to get 2 pi divided by 4 pi divided by 2. So that comes out to be 2 pi. So answer of this question is going to be option 4. That is 2 pi. Now let's move on to the next one. Now it says the four numbers are in such a way that their average of first two numbers is okay. I think there is an issue. Let me see what is there. The average of four numbers says that average of first two numbers is 1 more than the first number. Average of first three numbers is 2 more than the average of first two numbers. Average of first four numbers is 3 more than the average of 3 more than the average of first three numbers. It should be first three numbers. This is something we have. Okay. And the question is talking about what is the difference between smallest and largest number. Okay. So what I am going to do over here, the average of four numbers is that average of first two numbers is 1 more than the first number. So let's assume first number is 1. Okay. So average of first two numbers is 1 more than first number. So average of first two numbers is 2. Right. So if average of first two numbers is 2, then sum of first two numbers is going to be 4. It means second number should be 3. Okay. Now average of these two numbers is 2. Okay. The average of first three numbers is 2 more than the average of first two numbers. So average of first two numbers is 2. So average of first three numbers should be 4. Right. So sum of first three numbers should be 12. Right. So 1 plus 3, 4. So third number should be 8. Now I have average as 4. Okay. Now average of first four numbers is 3 more than the average of first three numbers. So average of first four numbers should be 7. Right. So sum should be 28. So if sum is 28, so 1 plus 3, 4, 4 plus 8, 12. So fourth number should be 16. Now question is talking about what is the difference between largest and smallest number. That is going to be 15. So answer of this question is going to be 15. Now let's move on to the next question. Now question is saying when 10 power 1000 is divided by 7, what is the remainder? So basically whenever we talk about remainders or remainder theorem, we can use in such case we can use Fermat's Little theorem, we can use Euler's theorem, but I'm not going to use any theorem. I'm going to solve this question without any theorem. Okay. So basically, whenever you have a question like this, so first of all, divide 10 by 7. What is the remainder? 3. So I am just replacing the number by the remainder itself. So my question is 3 power 100 divided by 7. What is the remainder? Okay. So 3 into 3. So when numbers get multiplied, remainders also get multiplied and so on. How many times? 100 times we are talking about. So 3 into 3, 9. In this case, my remainder is 2. Now 2 into 3, 6. So my remainder is 6. Now 6 into 3, 18. My remainder is 4. Now 4 into 3, that is 12, remainder is 5. 5 into 3, 15. The remainder is 1. So basically, I can say at 3 power 6, my remainder is 1. So at 3 power 6 power 16 into 3 power 4. So at 3 power 6, my remainder is 1. So 1 power 16 into 3 power 4. So at 3 power 4, what is the remainder we have? That is 81. 81 divided by 7. So my overall remainder comes out to be 1 into 4. So my answer of this question is going to be option 3. That is remainder is going to be 4. Now let's see question number 7. What does it says? It says that x is a positive real number, says that 4 log x. Okay. So in this question, which identity we are going to use? That is log a power n b. So that can be written as 1 upon n log b base a. So that is the identity we are going to use in log in this particular question. Okay. So basically I have 4 log base 10x. Instead of 100, I can write it as 10 square. So if I use that identity, I'm going to get 4 upon 2 log base 10x. Okay. Similarly, I can write 1000 as 10 power 3. So it becomes 8 upon 3 log base 10x, and that is equal to 30. Okay. So I have log base 10x everywhere common. So I'm going to take log base 10x common. Then 4 is 4, 4 by 2 is 2, and 8 by 3. And that is equal to 30. Fair enough. So log base 10x, that is equal to 18 plus 8, 26 upon 3, and that is equal to 13. So this is 2, this is 1. So I am going to get log base, and this comes out to be 3 upon 2. Now, by the basic definition of log, I can say x is equal to 10 power 3 by 2. So 10 power 3 by 2, I can say 10 power 1 into 10 power 1 by 2. So this is equal to 10 into root 10. Okay. Now question is saying what is the greatest integer function of x? Okay. So 10 is 10 and 3, this root 10 is 3.1 something. So this becomes 31 point something. So greatest integer function is going to be 31 itself. So my answer of this question is going to be 31. Now let's move on to the next question and see what does it says. It says if the equation x square plus mx plus 9 equal to 0 and x square plus nx plus 17 equal to 0 and this and they have one common negative root, the value of 2m plus 3n. Okay, fair enough. So what is the approach we are going to take in this question? Let's assume that common root in all three equations is alpha. Okay, so my equation becomes alpha square plus m alpha plus 9, and that's equal to 0. Okay. Then it becomes alpha square plus n alpha plus 17, and that's equal to 0. So if I add both the equations, I'm going to get 2 alpha square plus m plus n times alpha plus 26, and that is equal to 0. Now I'm going to put alpha over here. So that is going to be alpha square plus m plus n alpha plus 35, and that's equal to 0. Now I'm going to subtract. So what I'm going to get? I am going to get alpha square minus 9 equal to 0. So alpha square comes out to be 9. So alpha comes out to be plus minus 3. But I won't take it as plus 3 because the question is saying it has a common negative root. So alpha cannot be 3. It has to be minus 3. So in this, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put 3 over here. So what I'm going to get, 3 square is 9 plus m into minus 3 plus 9, and that's equal to 0. So from here, I'm going to get m is equal to 6. Okay. Now in the second equation, 3 square is 9, minus 3 square is 9, minus 3n plus 17, and that's equal to 0. So I can say 3n is equal to how much? It is going to be 26. So n comes out to be 26 upon 3. Now what question is saying? Question is asking what is the value of 2m? 2m is 12 and 3n. 3n is how much? 26. So what is the value of 2m plus 3n? That is equal to 38. So answer of this question is going to be 38. Now let's move on to the next question. So what does it say is the sum of all real values of this. Okay. Now what I can do, I can write it as, in this question, what is the trickiest part? The trickiest part is to figure out this number is somehow related to power of 2, right? So basically how we can figure out, we can say that 2 power 10 is 1024 and it is 32,000, right? So 2 power 5 is 32. So if you multiply these two numbers, you will figure out that this number is 2 power 15. Okay. Now every number is in reciprocal. So I am not going to take it in reciprocal. I am going to simply write it as 8 power k into 32,768 times power 1 by 3. That is equal to 8 power 1 into 32,768 power 1 by k. Because everything is in reciprocal, so I have taken reciprocal of this, I'll get this value. So this can be written as 2 power 3k into 2 power, this is 2 power 15, so 2 power 15 upon 3, that is equal to 2 power 3 into 2 power 15 upon k. Okay, so LHS becomes 2 power 3k plus 5, RHS becomes 2 power 3 plus 15 upon k. So I can say 3k plus 5 is equal to 3 plus 15 upon k. So 3k minus 15 upon k is equal to minus 2. Okay. So 3k square minus 15 is equal to minus 2k. Fair enough. So I have a quadratic equation that is k square plus 2k minus 15, and that's equal to 0. Now, how many values k is going to have? K is going to have 2 values in this question. And what are the sum of those values? That is the sum of the roots of this equation. So let's say one value is k1, second value is k2, and sum of those values is going to be sum of the roots, that is minus 2 upon 3. So answer of this question becomes option 1, that is x equal k is equal to minus 2 upon 3. Now let's move on to the next one. Question number 10. Okay. This is, I think, the easiest question CLAT offered in this paper. The selling price of a product is fixed to ensure 40% profit. Okay. So let's say cost price is X. Selling price is 1.4X. If the product has a cost 40% less, okay, so cost becomes 0.6x, right? And it has been sold at 5 rupees less. So selling price becomes 1.4x minus 5. Now in this case, profit would have been 50%, right? So cost price is this, profit percent is 50%, it means 1.5, and that is equal to 1.4x minus 5. So from here I can say that 0.9x is equal to 1.4x minus 5. So from here I can say that 0.5x is equal to 5. So x comes out to be 10. Now what happened during the exam? A lot of people mark the answer as 10. But the answer is not 10 because the question is not talking about the value of x. Question is saying what is the original selling price. So original selling price is 1.4x, that is 14. So answer of this question is going to be option 2, that is 14. Now let's see the next question. What does it say? Okay. So x1, x2, x3 are in AP such that x5 is equal to -4 and this, and question is talking about what is the value of x, 100. Fair enough. Okay. So what I am going to do in this case, I am going to say it is an AP, right? So I'm not going to think much in this question. Let's say first term is A and common difference is D. So I am going to have a series like this, right? And so on. So what is the value of fifth term? That is A plus 4D. And that is equal to what? -4. Okay. Now 2x6 means 2 times A plus 5D plus 2 times A plus 8D, and that is equal to A plus 10D plus A plus 12D. Okay. So I'm going to have 2A plus 10D plus 2A plus 16D, and that is equal to 2A plus 22D. So 2A cancels out. So I can say 2A is equal to -4D. Okay. So I can say that A is equal to -2D. Okay. So I'm just going to plug in over here. So it is going to be -2D plus 4D is equal to -4. So from here I can say that -2D, plus 2D is equal to 4. Sorry, -4. So D comes out to be -2. So if D is -2, then A should be equal to what? A should be equal to 4. Right. And the question is talking about what is the 100th term. So 100th term is going to be A plus 99D. So A is what? 4. 99 is 99 and D is what? -2. So 4 plus -198. So what is the 100th term? That is option 1 -194. So my answer of this question is going to be option 1. This was extremely easy. This was means if you are going to get this question in the exam and you are getting it wrong, no, that shouldn't happen, because this is 3 numbers for free. So it might take 2.5 minutes to solve this in the exam if nothing clicks, but still in 2.5 minutes getting 3 marks is perfectly fine, and I think it should be done. Now let's move on to the next one. What does it says? It says a set contains, consider 2 sets. A is equal to 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 and 13. Okay, there are 6 numbers inside it. And B is 1, 8, 7. F be a function from A to B such that for every element in B, there is at least one element such that this. Okay, fair enough. So what is the approach we are going to get this question? Should it be solved in the exam? This is a tricky scenario. If you are able to understand what kind of question it is, you should. Otherwise, this is not a question that you, if it doesn't click within a minute that what is the approach, then it shouldn't be attempted. This is that kind of question. So so what is the approach for this question? Now the approach is, if you have studied the concept of boxes and balls in the class of PNC, this question should not be very difficult. So basically, B should be mapped from at least one element from A. And how many elements are there in B? There are 3 elements. So I am going to solve this question by using the concept of boxes and balls. So in A, there are 6 elements. In B, there are 3 elements, and B should be mapped from A. It means there are 3 boxes that are the elements of B, and these 6 balls are there. You have to place 6 balls in 3 boxes in such a way so that no box is empty, right? So I am going to have A plus B plus C, and that is equal to 6, because I have to drop 6 elements in I have to drop 6 elements in 3 boxes. In how many ways I can do that so that no box is empty? Okay. So first of all, I'm going to find out the solutions for it. Okay. So it is going to be 1, 1, 4. That is my first solution. Second solution is going to be 1, 2, 3. Okay. What can be next solution? It can be 1. It should be 2, 2, 2. Is there any other way to solve this? No. There are only 3 possibilities. Okay. So how can I arrange this? So basically, I have to arrange 6 balls into 3 boxes. So basically, 6 factorial divided by 1 factorial, 1 factorial, 4 factorial. This is grouping into 2 factorial. So basically, I have grouped 6 balls into 3 groups. Now, to arrange it 3 groups, you need to multiply it with 3 factorial. So this comes out to be how much? 6, 5 into 6, 30, 15, 15 into 6, 90. Okay. Now, how I'm going to solve this? 6 factorial divided by 1 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 factorial into 3 factorial. So it is going to be how much? 120 60, 60 into 6 comes out to be 360. Now, how can I solve this? That is 6 factorial divided by 2 factorial into 2 factorial into 2 factorial into 3 factorial. That is called grouping into 3 factorial. So this cancels out. This part is called as grouping. This part is called as arrangement. So grouping and arrange. Group and arrange. So it is going to be how much? 90. So what are the total arrangements we are going to get? 360 plus 90 plus 90. So 360 plus 180. So it comes out to be 540. So my answer of this question is going to be option 1. That is 540. And if that grouping concept and this arrangement of boxes and balls doesn't click you, this is a question that should not be attempted during the exam, because even if it clicks, it is going to take a lot of time and you are going to be consistently confused whether you are doing it right or not. So this is a question that should be left out. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to question number 13. Now, what does it say? It says that ABCD is a rectangle such that AB is 56, BC is 45. Okay. So what I am going to have, A, B, C, D. AB is 56, BC is 45, and E is the midpoint of CD. So this is actually 28. This is also 28. And the question is talking about what is the in radius of this. Okay, fair enough. So I can say this is 45 because it is a rectangle. This is 90 degrees. So if I'm going to use Pythagoras theorem, that is 45 square plus 28 square is square root. So basically so I can say A square is equal to what? Root of root of 45 square plus 28 square, and this value comes out to be 53. So what is the in radius of right angle triangle? That is going to be 45. So in any right angle triangle, let's say this is a right angle triangle, this is A, this is B, this is C, in radius is given by A plus B minus C divided by 2. So it is going to be 45 plus 28 minus 53 divided by 2. So this is 73 minus 53, that is 20 divided by 2. So in radius of this triangle, or in radius is also called as radius of incircle of triangle ADE, is going to be 10. So answer of this question is going to be 10. Now let's move on to the next question. What does it says? Question number 14. The sum of all 4-digit numbers that can be formed with a distinct non-zero digits A, B, C, D, with each digit appearing exactly once. Okay, So let's say I have 4 digit number, I have 4 digits or 5 digits, and I have all non-zero. And how we are going to calculate sum of all the numbers that are formed by those digits. Okay. So let's say there are n digits. In this question, it is given 4 digits. So let's say there are n digits. So how I can calculate the sum of all numbers? That is 1, 1, 1, n times into n minus 1 factorial into sum of the digits a plus b plus c and so on, right? So in this case there are 4 digits, so 1 1 1 1 into n minus 1, so 4 digits, so 3 factorial into sum of the digits a plus b plus c plus d, and that is going to be sum of all the digits, and that is equal to 1 5 3 3 1 0 plus n. Okay, so this is going to be something 6666 into a plus b plus c plus d plus 15331 plus n. So basically what is going to happen, how we are going to solve it. So if you divide, and the question says n is a single digit number, so my sum is going to be close to this number, right? So I'm going to divide this by 6666. So my value comes out to be very close to 23. It means this sum of all 4 digits should be 23. So that is going to be 6666 into 23. So if you divide this number by 6666, the value comes out to be 22.9 something. So that's the reason I figured out. So basically this product comes out to be 153318. It means n should be equal to 8. A plus B plus C plus D should be equal to 23. And question is saying what is the value of A plus B plus C plus D plus N. So that is going to be 23 plus 8. So my answer of this question comes out to be 31. So the answer will be 31. Okay. If you know this concept about how to calculate the sum of all the numbers formed by the digits, it's this question is doable. Otherwise, I won't say it's pretty much doable. Now let's move on to the next one. A shop wants to sell a certain quantity. Okay, it sells half the quantity and additional 3 kgs to the first customer. Then it sells half of the remaining quantity and additional 3 kgs to those grains to the second customer. Then again sells half, then 3 kg, and it finishes. Okay, so there are two ways to solve this question. One, you can go by options. Second, you can solve. If you want to solve, then start from the bottom. This is not a question where you can go from top to bottom. You can start from the start, then you can progress downwards. No, you have to start from the end, then you move to the top. You will get the answer. So now, if I'm going to start from the end, he sells half. So when last customer came, he had x kgs. So he sells half, means he sells x by 2 plus 3 kgs. Now he has nothing. It means x should be equal to x by 2 plus 3. It means x by 2 should be equal to 3. It means x should be 6. So when last customer came, he had 6 kg left. Okay. Now, when second last customer came, he had y kgs and he sold how much? Y by 2 plus 3 kgs. Then how much is left out? That is 6 kgs, because when last customer came, 6 kgs was left out. It means this is y, he sold y by 2. So remaining y by 2 should be equal to 3 plus 6, that is going to be 9. So y by 2 is 9, so y comes out to be 18. Okay. When the first customer came, he had z kg. He sold how much? Z by 2 plus 3. Then how much is remaining? 18 kgs. It means z by 2 should be equal to 3 plus 18, or I would say 21. So z should be equal to 42. So how many kgs we are talking about? 42 kgs. So answer of this question is going to be option 1, that is 42. Now, these kind of questions are I would say pretty common in CAT. These questions has been asked before. So whenever you see these kind of question, one person is selling this, then he's selling this, then he's selling this. So these kind of questions are the generic approach of these kind of questions is always bottom to top, not top to bottom. Let's move on to the next one. What does it says? Question number 16. A glass is filled with milk. 2/3 of its content is poured out and replaced with water. Fair enough. And if this process is repeated 3 more times, okay. So final quantity of milk is equal to initial quantity. Initial quantity is, let's say, 1. It is replaced, and how much? 2/3. How many times it is going to be done? 4 times. So it is final quantity of milk is going to be 1 into 1 by 3 power 4, or I would say final quantity of milk is 1 by 81. It means out of 81 liters, milk is 1. So how much water is there? Water is 80. So ratio of milk to water is going to be 1:80. So my answer of this question is going to be option 2. So this is the easiest question of slot 1. This question. Second, that profit and loss question. These two has been extremely easy questions in CAT. In this question, if you are going to make a mistake, the people who have made mistakes in this question, they marked 1:81. But that is milk is to total, not milk is to water. Milk is to water is 1:80. And this error, I would say that is a silly error. You didn't read the question. If you are marking this answer, it means you have made a very silly error. Instead of +3, you have gone down to 4 marks, you got -1. But in these kind of questions, when you see the question is extremely easy, read very carefully, because the solution is easy. Sometimes the wordplay might hamper your score. Now let's move on to the next one. Question number 17. A plus b root n is a positive square root of this. Okay. And okay, n is a natural number, and this. I need to find out the maximum value of this. So whenever we have these kind of questions, so square root of this. So whenever you get these kind of questions, 29 minus 12 root 5, and square root should be in this format. It means, I would say, let's say this is something. So it means 29 minus 12 root 5 should be equal to a minus b whole square, or b minus a whole square, whatever it is. Okay. So it is equal to a square plus b square minus 2ab. So 2ab should be equal to this. Okay. So I can say 2ab is equal to 12 root 5. So I can say that AB is equal to what? 6 root 5. Now, how I can get it? I can get it as 1 into 6 root 5. I can get it as 2 into 3 root 5. I can get it as 3 into 2 root 5. And these kind of ways I can get it, or I can get it as 6 into root 5. Okay. Now, a square plus b square should be equal to 29. So 1 square plus this square is definitely not. So this is rejected. 3 square is 9 into 5, 45 plus 4. No, definitely not. 3 square is 9. This is 20. 20 plus 9 is this. So I got the value. So basically, this is actually 2 root 5 minus 3 whole square. Now it is equal to 2 root 5 minus 3. Now, why I'm not writing as 3 minus 2 root 5? Because if you are going to write as 3 minus 2 root 5, this value is actually negative. So it means it should be 2 root 5 minus 3, right? So that is actually b minus a whole square. Now, the tricky part is, question is talking about what is the maximum possible value, but we are going to get only one value. Then how? So it is, I'm going to write it as this. Same thing. Now, how? I'm going to get one value of a, that is -3, one value of b, that is 2, one value of n, that is 5. How we are going to find out the maximum value? Is it a problem? Yes, because there might be multiple values. And how? Because a is definitely -3, but 2 root 5 can also be written as 1 into root 20. So in this case, A is this, B is this, N is this. In this case, A is -3, B is 1, and N is 20. So where I am maximizing A plus B plus N, not in the first case. We are maximizing it in the second case. That is -3 plus 1 plus 20. So in this case, answer shouldn't be 4, answer should be 18. So answer of this question is option 2, that is 18. Now let's move on to the next one. Question number 18. Okay. The surface area of closed rectangular box is 846. Okay. So what is the total surface area of a rectangular box? That is 2LB plus BH plus HL. Okay. And that is given to us as 846. Sum of all edges. How many edges does a rectangle have? A rectangle have 12 edges, 4 lengths, 4 width, and 4 heights. So 4 times L plus B plus H is equal to 144. Okay. So I can say L plus B plus H is equal to how much? That is equal to 36. Now I'm going to square it. So that is going to be L square plus B square plus H square plus 2 times LB plus BH plus HL is equal to 1296. Okay. Now I know that this value is 846. So that is L square plus B square plus H square is equal to 450. Okay. So what is the diagonal of this? Diagonal is going to be square root of L square plus B square plus H square. And that is equal to, that is 225 into 2. So that is 15 root 2. Okay. Now, if you imagine a sphere and inside a sphere, you put a rectangular box. So if you see the diagonal of that box is actually the diameter of the sphere. So this is actually 2r, right? So r comes out to be 15 upon root 2. Now question is talking about the volume of the sphere. So volume of the sphere is going to be 4 by 3 into pi into r cube. That is 15 upon root 2 into 15 upon root 2 into 15 upon root 2. So the volume of sphere is given by 4 by 3 pi r cube. So that is 2, 2, 2. So this becomes root 2. This becomes 5. So 225 into 5 is 1125 pi root 2. So the volume of the sphere becomes 1125 pi root 2. This question, I would say it was easy, but you need to imagine that the diameter of the sphere must be equal to the diagonal of the cuboid. So if you are able to figure that out, this question was pretty much doable. It would take somewhere around 2 minutes to solve the question during the exam, and you will get the answer. Now let's move on to the next one. Question number 19. This is a question I don't think this clicked to anyone in the exam, but this is a question that was very easy when you solve it. These kind of questions we have seen multiple times in CLAT and very easy to solve. But it's difficult whether it is going to click to you during the exam or not. Now, what we are going to do here, 4 times x minus y minus z is equal to 3 plus a. What is a? A is this. That is 4 x square plus y square plus z square. Now I'm going to take everything on one side, that is 4x square minus 4x plus 4y square plus 4y plus 4z square plus 4z plus 3, and that is equal to 0. Okay. I am going to write it further. 4x square minus 4x plus 1 plus 4y square plus 4y plus 1 plus 4z square plus 4z plus 1, and that is equal to 0. Now that is 2x minus 1 whole square plus 2y plus 1 whole square plus 2z plus 1 whole square, and that's equal to 0. it means if sum of 3 squares is 0, it means every value should be 0. It means x is 1 by 2, y is 1 by 2, z is also 1 by 2. So x square is 1 by 4. Sorry, this is minus minus. So x square is 1 by 4, y square is 1 by 4, z square is 1 by 4. So this is 3 by 4 into 4. So the value of A becomes option 4, that is 3. Was tricky when you are reading this question in the exam. I'm not sure it is going to click to you or not, that it can be done in this. Again, these kind of questions has been asked multiple times in the previous years. It was difficult to click. I don't think anyone solved this question during the exam. Now let's move on to the next one. Question number 20. For any natural number, n, let's say n, the largest integer not exceeding root n. Okay. So a1, so square root of 1 is 1, so it is 1. A2, square root of 2 is 1 point something, so that is also 1. A3 is 1 point something, so 1. A4, that is square root of 2, so that is 2. Okay. So first three terms, and if I'm talking about A5, that is also going to be 2. So when it is going to be 3, at A9, it is going to be 3. At A16, it is going to be 4. At A25, it is going to be 5. And from A16 to A25, every value is going to be 4. At A36, it is going to be 6. And at A49, it is going to be 9. Sorry, 7. So first three numbers, we have 1. So sum of first three numbers is this. Next 5 numbers, every number is 2. So sum is going to be 2 into 5. Next 7 numbers, every value is 3. So 3 into 7. Next 9 numbers, every number is 4. So 4 into 9. Now, if you see the pattern, so basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 5, 7, 9. So it is going to be 5 into 11. Then I have 6 into how much? 13. Then how much we are going to have? Then 7 is 49 and 50. So 7 is appearing only 2 times. So this is 3 plus 10 plus 21 plus 36 plus 55 plus 78 plus 14. This plus this is 50. 50. So 50 plus 10, 60. So I'm going to write 60 plus 24. Plus this is going to be how much? 55, 120, 133. And total sum comes out to be 217. So answer of this question is going to be 217. So not very difficult to solve, but if the language is clear, you understood what question want to say, it can be solved easily during the exam. Now let's move on to the next one. Question number 21, what does it says? It says the amount of 10,000 has been deposited in a bank for a certain amount of years of simple interest of 5% per annum. On maturity, the total amount received is deposited in bank B for 5 years at a simple interest of 6%. Okay. And the interest received from A and B is in the ratio of 10:30. Okay. So basically, I have initial amount is 10,000. I'm spending it and depositing it for T years at a rate of 5. So this is my interest, right? For the next 6 years, principal is 10,000 plus, sorry, it should be divided by 5. Instead of this, I will write 5%. So 5% is going to be 5%, 10,000 T. So this is my principal. Now, what is the interest rate? Is 6%. What is the time period? This. And this ratio is given to us as 10 is to 30. Okay. Now, if you see in the denominator, we are having 13. Now, this is not a multiple of 13. This is not a multiple of 13. It means this number should be multiple of 13. So it means 10,000 uh, into t into 5 by 100. So this is actually going to be uh, 500t or 10,000. So 10,000 plus 500 and t should be a multiple of 13. So what should be the value of t? It should be 6. So 10,000 plus 3,000 is going to be 13,000. So if you want, we can check as well. So that is 10,000 into, this is t is 6, 5% is 5 by 100, PRT by 100, divide by this total value comes out to be how much? 13,000. Again, it should be divided by 100 into 30 by 100. 100 cancels out, or I would say 10 upon 30. So 30 cancels out. Is it 10 upon 13? Yes. So if you put t equal to 6, you are directly going to get the answer as option 4, that is 6. You don't have to solve this question if you are going to solve this equation. This is going to be a lengthy process. But this is a question that if you are going to use the options, it is extremely easy to solve during the exam. Now let's move on to the next one. Question number 22. What does it says? There are two places, A and B. They are 45 kilometers apart. Okay. Anil goes from A to B and Sunil goes from B to A. A, B. This is Anil. This is Sunil. And the distance between the two is 45. Okay. Uh, they cross each other in 90 minutes. So they cross each other in 90 minutes. 90 minutes means 1.5 hours. Okay. So both of them are covering a distance of 45 in 1.5 hours. Anil is going like this, Sunil is going like this. So what is the relative speed we are talking about? So relative speed is going to be 30. Means speed of Anil plus speed of Sunil should be equal to 30. That's what I can see. Okay. If Anil reaches B exactly 1 hour 15 minutes after Sunil reaches A, the speed of Anil. Okay. So it means Anil is reaching B after Sunil reaches A. It means Sunil is reaching first. It means Sunil is faster. Right. So if Sunil is faster, then Anil is slower. So speed of Anil should be less than 15. So it means this cannot be the value of Anil. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply take this 12. So this is 12. And this is how much? 18. Okay. So they met each other here, right? So Anil is traveling with a speed of 12. Okay. So how much time Anil is taking? 45 upon 12. So that is going to be 3.75 hours, right? Sunil is taking how much? 45 upon 18. So that is how much? 2.5 hours. So basically, Anil is taking 1.25 more hours. That is 1 hour 15 minutes more than Sunil. It means the answer that I have calculated is right. So here my answer of this question is going to be option 4. If you are going to make equation in this question, this is going to be tricky and very lengthy. So I'm not going to make any equation in this question. I'm going to solve it directly by using the options. And with this, we conclude this solution because all 22 questions are done. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the solution video for CAT 2024 Slot 2 QA. Let's look at the questions. Sort it out. Okay, great. We'll go through all the questions one by one. I'll try to present as many solutions as we can, or as many different ways of doing the question as we can, without getting into maybe the lengthier solutions. Let's start with this question. The question says ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to CD. These sides, when extended, intersect at point E. So the diagram is simple. AB is 2. The trapezium is ABCD, and CD is 1. So let's say it's here, half. And if I extend AD and BC, this is C, this is D. If I extend D, AD, and BC, these guys meet at E, point E. The perimeter, this is 1. The perimeter of ABCD is 6 centimeter. Fair. So if this is 2, this is 1. The net distance BC and AD is 3. And because the question doesn't say anything, you can even assume them to be equal, right? 6 में से 3, this is 3 out of 6. I can easily take them to be 1.5 each. Nothing stops me from assuming that. You don't want to do it, or if this didn't occur to you in the exam, it's okay. You could take in one as x, the other is 3 minus x. Net sum 3 होना चाहिए. AD plus BC का net sum 3 होना चाहिए. That's the only way you'll get a perimeter of 6. And the question asks you, what is the perimeter of AEB? If you look at these two triangles, right, EDC and EAB, these triangles are similar. Yeah, because whenever you have a parallel line, CD and AB are parallel, or DC and AB are parallel. So this will be they will be similar. In fact, they're not just similar. If you look at the ratio of proportionality, that will be 1:2. CD is parallel to AB and half of AB. CD is 1, AB is 2. So D and C have to be midpoints using midpoint theorem, right? I can use midpoint theorem and say that C and D are midpoints, and therefore if AD I've marked as 3 minus x, so will DE be. And if BC I marked it as x, so will CE be. See the midpoint. So net perimeter will basically be 2 plus 3 minus x plus 3 minus x. That's 6 minus 2x. That's 2 plus 6 minus 2x plus x plus 2x. So net perimeter will come out to be 8. That's it. That's the answer to this question. Great. Let's move on to the next question. The next question says that Amal and Vimal together can complete a task in 150 days. Vimal and Sunil can complete it in 100 days. Fair. Amal starts working on the task and works for a certain amount of time. Then Vimal takes over. Then Sunil takes over, and so on. If Amal has started the task alone and worked on all days, Vimal every second day, every alternate day, and Sunil had worked on every third day, and the number of days required to complete the task would have been which are the following. Now, can we make equations here? We can. Can we make assumptions? Can we take assumptions here? Because our starting value, given is 150 and 100 days for the whole task, I don't think it's a bad idea to just take work done to be 300. So let's start by taking work done to be 300. And that gives us the work rate of Amal and Vimal as 300 by 150, work done by time, 2 units per day. And therefore, of Vimal and Sunil as 300 by 100, 3 units a day. And from here, you can eliminate V and find out that S minus A comes out to be 1 unit, or S is 1 plus A, something like that. If I subtract from the second equation, the first equation, I'll get S minus A is equal to 1. Fair enough. And then let's use that bit of information in the in how they actually work. Amal starts works for 75 days. Vimal works for 135 days. Sunil works for 45. Since we don't know their individual, V plus S. So A plus V. So if I take out 75 days of work from here, 75, I can write 135V as 75V plus something else, and this is 75A. Now, this combined is going to be equal to 75 times A plus V. This is 150 units of work. Has to be half. Yeah. Next, I want to combine V and S also. Now, S is work for 45 days. So I'll break this 135 into 45 more, 45 into V, and then combine it with 45 into S. So this gives me 3, which is 135. And now what are we left with? Out of 135, 75 and 45 is 120. So another 15 days. The remaining work is done by V in 15 days. How much work is done? 300 minus 150 minus 135 is just 15 units. This 15 units of work is left that we'll do in 15 days. So the work rate of V comes out to be 1. So if you solve this, you'll get V as 1. And the moment you get V as 1, you'll get S as 2 and A also as 1. So we have work rates, which is extremely useful, and that will help us solve the question. So Amal has started the task alone, works on all days. Great. So Amal will work every day. On the second day, Amal is joined by Vimal. And then on the third day, Sunil comes in. Right? It's Amal and Sunil. Now the thing here is, because Vimal is working every second day, so second, fourth, sixth, and Sunil is working on third and sixth. Amal is obviously working on all the days. This will run in a cycle of 6 days. Right? So Vimal comes in here. Fourth day also Vimal comes in. Fifth day it is just Amal working alone. Sixth day it is all the three. All three working. Start. Then again it'll be A plus B, and so on and so forth. So you can consider this in terms of cycles of 6 days of work, and you can check how much work has been done. Obviously, on all 6 days, A is working, so that's 6 units of work done by A. S has worked out of these 6 days for 2 days, so that's 4 units of work. V has worked for 3 out of the 6 days, so that's 3 units of work. So every 6 days, 13 units will be done. Oops. And if I want to do a total of 300 units, 300 units would basically mean 13 into 20 is 260, 260, and then another 39. So 23 cycles of 6 days each. If I run 23 cycles of 6 days each cycle is 6 days, I will end up doing how much work in these 6 days? 13 units. So 13 into 23. 13 into 23 is 299. I'm sorry, 299. Yeah, this comes out to be 299. And how many days is this? 26 is 120 and 18. This is 138 days. In 138 days, 299 units would have been done, and then done. And cycle will restart, and who will come in? A will come in. A will come in, finish that 1 unit of work, and thus finish 300 units in total. And the number of days taken will be 138 plus 1. 139 is your answer. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question. So what we did here was work done, assume the work done, find out some information about work rates, use that in the information provided. That will help you find out the work rate of V. And once you found out the work rate of V, you basically have all the work rates, and then you just follow the question to its logical conclusion. Next question says, when Rajesh's age was the same as the present age of Garima, the ratio of their ages was 3:2. When Rajesh's age was the same as the present age of Garima. Okay. So the age of Rajesh today is the same as the present age of Garima. So when Rajesh is, because 3:2 means 3x and 2x, right? So this must have been some years ago, because Garima today is 3 years old. This happened some time ago. So let me write minus means in the past. Today, what is the case? Garima is 3x years old. The same age age is what we are considering Rajesh to be when the ratio is 3:2. Right? So today Garima is 3x, which basically means this is x years later, right? If I start from the past as the reference and I reach or talk about today, how many years later is today? Garima's age has changed from 2x to 3x. So this has happened x years later, which means R will also be older by x years. So today, their ages are 4x and 3x. When Garima's age becomes the same as the present age of Rajesh. So when in future Garima becomes the same as Rajesh's age when Garima becomes 4x. So that means we're talking about another x years in future. Rajesh will obviously also be x years older, so Rajesh will be 5x. Then the ratio of ages of Rajesh and Garima, ratio of ages will be 5x is to 4x, 5 is to 4. End of story. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question. Straightforward question. Question number, I don't remember the question number, but yeah, let's look at what this question says. It says 1 upon x plus 5 is less than equal to 1 upon 2x minus 3. Guys, if you have options in these questions, there is no point taking this to the left hand side, making this a quadratic equation or whatever. I think the best way to solve most of these questions, almost all of the questions, is use options. Right? We have options here that say x lies between -5 and you assume values to check, if the inequation is working. But you do that first by looking at the options. So option 1 says x between -5 and 3/2. Option 2 also says -5 by 3/2. The other one says x less than -5. The other one says again x less than -5. Look, here, neither here nor here do we have x equal to 0. We just don't have x equal to 0, right? We do have x equal to 0 here. So the fastest thing to do is just put x equal to 0, check if the inequation works. Does it work? No, it doesn't, because left hand side is 1 by 5, which is basically 0.2 in value, which should be less than equal to 1 upon, right, 2x is 0, so 1 upon -3 or -1 by 3. How can a positive quantity be less than a negative quantity? So the inequation doesn't work at x equal to 0, which means all the options that have x equal to 0 are wrong. Option 1 and option 2 are wrong. And then it's about option 3 and option 4. Option 3 says x is greater than 3/2, which basically means right up to infinity. And option 4 says that 3/2 up to 8. So it sets a limit. Just check one, right? You don't want to try between 3/2 and 8, because 3/2 is also included here. But let's say a value like 10 is not included. Just put x equal to 10. Check, does the equation work? Left hand side is 1 upon 15. Right hand side is 1 upon 10. 1 upon 20 minus 3, 1 upon 17. How can 1 by 15 be less than 1 by 17? Right? Denominator, when the denominator is smaller, the value overall is bigger. So left hand side is greater than right hand side, and therefore x equal to 10 also does not work. So option 3 does not work, because this includes x equal to 10. Option 4 doesn't. It must be the right answer. Great. Let's move on to the next question. The question says, bus starts at 9 a.m. and follows a fixed route every day. Great. Good to know. Speed is not given. Unfortunate. One day travel at a constant speed of 60 km/h and reach destination 3.5 hours later than scheduled time. So there is a scheduled arrival time. So because there is a scheduled arrival time, let's say that the time taken is t hours. So what's happened today is the speed is 60 and the time taken is 3.5 hours more. So I can say the distance, this distance, let's say between A and B, would be 60 into t plus 3.5. Speed into time is the distance. Next day, it has traveled 2/3 of its route in 1/3 of its scheduled time. Good to know. So 2/3 of the route, right? Let's say this distance is d. This is just for the timing. So 2/3 of d has been covered in 1/3 of the time, so in t by 3. And the remaining portion has been covered at 40 km/h to just reach on time. If I have a total of t hours available, I've used up t by 3 hours. I have another 2t by 3 hours, which is what I'll use at 40 km/h to reach on time. Yeah. So can we say that this was 2 by 3d? The remaining distance, this will be d by 3. D by 3 ought to be, and what is d? D is this. D is this, right? D is 60 into t plus 3.5. This is the distance. D by 3, this is the distance. D by 3 will be equal to 40 km/h into 2t by 3. 40 into 2t by 3. Just solve this. Just solve this. It's quite easy. 60t, and you have 80t on the right hand side, and you have 60 into 3.5, which is what, 210. 210. So 20t will come out to be 210, and t will come out to be 10.5. So the normal time taken is 10.5 hours. So if the bus starts every day at 9 a.m., 10 and a half hours later, 10 hours is 7, 10.5 means it will reach its destination usually by 7:30 p.m. That's your answer. I hope this is clear. Let's move on. Question number 6 says, a vessel contained a certain amount of solution of acid and water. When 2 liters of water is added to it, the new solution becomes 50% acid concentration. Nice. So, the question is telling you that initially acid water is 2 liters less. So if water initially was X, acid would be X plus 2. Right? Let's say these are the initial volumes. Because after I've added 2 liters of water, my net volume of acid and water has to become equal. That is what a 50% acid concentration means, right? 50% means 50% is acid and 50% is water. The quantities of water and acid are equal. So that we can start from here, and then we can say that initially acid must have been 2 liters more. Lovely. Water 2 liters less. And then the question goes on to say, when 15 liters of acid is further added to the solution, the final solution has 80% acid concentration. So 15 more liters added, that basically means, and 15 liters of acid added, net acid will end up being X plus 17, and water, of course, doesn't change, X plus 2. So that's 80%. This forms 80% of the solution. This forms 20% of the solution. We can solve from here, right? We can solve from here. Of course, we have total volume we have. We could also have solved using options. We'll come to that later. Total volume initially was 2x plus 2. And of course, now at present, after all the additions, the total volume is 2x plus 19. So if you want to solve this using equation, you can just say x plus 2, the amount of water, is 20% of the total volume, 1/5 of 2x plus 19. That will immediately give you the value of x, right? So if you solve this till 5x plus 10 is 2x plus 2x plus 19. 5 minus 2x is 3x, which is 9x is 3. So initially acid was 3 plus 2, 5 liters, and water was X, 3 liters. So the ratio of water is to acid is 3 is to 5, option 3. I hope this is clear. Now, you should be immediately able to realize, right, that option 1 and option 2 can't be the answer. In the original solution, water was less. Water is less, right? Which is why when you add water, it gives you 50% solution. After adding water, it's 50%, which means water initially is less. So water is to acid can never be 5 to 4 or 5 to 3. There's no way that's the answer. So the answer is either 3 or option 4. You could have started from here. Start from here. Create a difference of 2 liters. The difference between water and acid is 2. So 3 is to 5 means already the difference is already 2 between 3 parts and 5 parts. But if it were to be, if the ratio were to be 4 is to 5, you multiply, because the difference here is 1 between 4 and 5, 4 parts, 5 parts, difference 1. 2 karna hai, multiply this by 2. So if I wanted to check this option, I would have checked with 8 and 10 liters. Because that maintains the ratio 4 is to 5 and also creates a difference of 2. So that's also one way you could have solved the question, or you can just make the equation as you did. Next. Oops. ABC are positive real numbers, log question. A is greater than 10, strictly greater than 10. B and C can be equal, both less than equal to 10. Fair. I hope you know what to do with this, right? I hope you know this basic rule that log of x to base y upon log of z to base y. This is log of x to base z. Right? It also works the other way around. Why would we need this? We have 8 here and 2 here. If I change this to 2 cube, right? If I change this to 2 cube, again we ought to know that log to the base 2 cube of a plus b, this can easily be written as the power of the base comes out in the denominator. 2 to the power 3, 3 will appear in the denominator, right? And then you're left with log of a plus b to the base 2. And of course, if I have, I'll keep 1 by 3 aside, log of c to the base 2 using this rule, what do I end up with? Log of a plus b to base c and the 1 by 3 separately. And the exact same way, if we do the exact same thing to the other expression, we'll have this is also 3 cube, it will come out as 1 by 3, and then you'll have 3 and 3, so that goes away. You are left with a minus b to base c. And of course 1 by 3 taken common, log of x plus log of y is log of x into y. So this is 1 by 3 log of a square minus b square to base c. That is what our left hand side is, and our right hand side is 2 by 3. So 3 goes away, it cancels out. And using basics of log, c square now, right? C square is equal to a square minus b square. So basically e square is equal to b square plus c square. We'll get c square here. A square minus b square is equal to c square. You take b square to the other side. You're left with this Pythagoras theorem kind of looking relation. And since we want the greatest possible integer value of a, b, and c are not integers. It just says a, b, c are positive real numbers. Right? You want to maximize a, what will you try to do? You'll try to maximize b and c as far as possible. So b and c maximum value is 10 when all of them are equal. So 10 square, 100, 10 square, 100, a square, 200. But the problem with that is 200 is not a whole square. Right? A square equal to 200 means a is 14 point something. That's okay. That's okay. Because if I now want to maximize a, if I take, let's say, b as 10, and let's say c as root 96. C need not be an integer, can be a real number, irrational number. So b square will be 100, c square will be 96, a square will be 196, and the highest possible value of a then will be 14. 14 point something doesn't take us to 15, but a can be 14. That's the greatest integer value of a. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question. Says m and n are natural numbers as n is greater than 1. M to the power n is a natural number. M to the power n is 2 to the power 25 and 3 to the power 40. Now, this is something very interesting here, right? Surely n has to be a common factor of 25 and 40. Now, 25 is 5 square. Prime factorizing, 40 is 2 cube, 8 into 5. The common factors, if I list down all the common factors between these two numbers, the only prime factor common is 5. There's no other prime factor. And of course, you have ones, right? So common factors of these two numbers is a small set, which is 1 or 5. So if I want a natural number power here, this power n has to be either 1 or 5, but n is greater than it can't be 1. And thus, n has to be 5, naturally. N would have to be 5. And therefore, the question is telling you that m to the power 5 is 2 to the power 25 into 3 to the power 40. Let's take 5 power common. So that's 2 to the power 5 into 3 to the power 8 whole to the power 5. And this, of course, cancels out. So m is 2 to the power 5 into 3 to the power 8. And then m minus n basically means whatever value of m comes in minus 5. Now, what is the value of m? What I did here was that I looked at the unit digits and I checked, what is giving me as unit digit. 2 to the power 5 is 32, right? Ends in 2. 3 to the power 8. 3 to the power 8 would end in 1. So this m unit digit is 2. Unit digit is 2. So 2, a number ending with 2 minus a number ending with 5 ends in 7. Great. That means option 1 and option 4 are not the answers. Unfortunately, we have 2 options in 7. So we don't have any other option. We'll have to find the value. We'll have to find the exact value of m, and that needs a little bit of work, but not a lot, right? 2 to the power 5, 32. 3 to the power 8 is 81 into 81. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cheat. I have a calculator. Calculator on. 32 into 3 to the power 4 is 81, right? So it's 81 square also I can multiply into 81 gives me 209952. So the value of m which is needed here is 209952 minus 5 obviously gives me m minus n gives me 209. Option 3 is our right answer. I hope you understood this question. Decent question. Let's move on to the next question. The next one says a company has 40 employees whose names are listed in a certain order. And then, the average bonus of the first 30 employees was so much, the last 30 employees is so much, first 10 and last 10 together is so much. Fair. So because it's, first 10, last 10, and 20 in the middle, it seems, I'm going to break this down very similar to another CAT question based on average, probably from 2022 or 2021. So, you had to break down the whole group into something like what we are doing. It had the first 10, last 10, and some people in the middle. So the first 10, the middle 20, and the last 10. Now the average bonus of the first 30 employees is, and we're starting from left to right. So the average bonus of the first 30 employees is 40,000. So it means, this total sum will be 30 into 40K. That's 120K. I'm not going to write the thousands. I'll just write K. This total sum is 120K. Great. For the last 30, it's 60,000. So last 30 is 60,000 into 30, 180K. Great. Does that help me find the values in the middle? Yes, because I also know first and last 10. First and last 10 together, average is 50,000. 50,000 into 20 is 100,000. Right? 50K into 50K into 20, right? No, it's 1,000. Okay, I think we missed a zero. 40K into 30 is 1,200K. I'm sorry. 1,200,000. This is 1,800,000. This is 1,000,000. So that gives us the value in the middle, right? Because if I subtract, if I subtract, I'll actually get the exact values. 1,800,000 minus 1,200,000, right? What do I get? I'm getting the difference between the last 10 and the first 10. Right? So 1,800,000 was last 10 plus the middle 20. 1,200,000 was first 10 plus middle 20. So middle 20 cancel out. This 600,000 is the difference between last 10 and first 10. But we also know that the sum of the last and the first 10, oops, the sum of the last and the first 10 is here, 1,000,000. So you solve this and you'll immediately get the sum of the first 10. Last 10 comes out to be 800,000. And first will come out to be 200,000. And that makes life easy. We also get the middle 20. I'm not sure if we need it because 1,200 minus 200 is 1,000,000. The question goes on to say that next year, the average bonus of the first 10 employees increases by 100%. 100% means doubles. So if this doubles, first 10 becomes 400,000. The last 10 of the last 10 employees increases by 200%. That's thrice. So 800 has become thrice, right? 2,400,000. The total average also means total because we're talking about the same number of employees. And the remaining employees, these ones in the middle, it remains 1,000. Total sum. So for these 40 employees, what is the new average? So the new sum, this is the new sum, is this. What is this? 14 plus 24, 38,000. 3,800,000. And of course, we're talking about the number of employees at the new average. That's 40. So once you, I hope this is clear. Let's move to the next question. The next question says the coordinates of three vertices of a triangle are so and so. What is the radius of the inner circle of the triangle? It's always prudent to plot this. Doesn't take a minute. Now 1 comma 2, x is 1, y is 2, 1 comma 2 is here. Let's say I would recommend that make this to scale as far as possible. 7 comma 2, good thing, right? Y coordinate is the same. So 7 comma 2, if this is 1, then 7 ought to be here somewhere. I hope we don't push this off the scale. And 1 comma 10, x coordinate is the same. So here goes somewhere like this. Surely a right angle triangle, right? Because the x coordinate is the same here, and the y coordinate is then the same here. So this has to be 90 degrees. So we have to find the radius of this right triangle. See, there's a formula. If you know it, it's great. Helps tons. So this is the perpendicular, is the base. This is your hypotenuse. The in radius is given by the sum of the two perpendicular sides, which means perpendicular plus base, minus hypotenuse upon 2. That's obviously one way to calculate in radius. The other way to calculate in radius is area of the triangle upon semi-perimeter. Semi-perimeter is half of the perimeter. You could have done either. You could have done either this or this. So yeah, I mean, if we can calculate the lengths here, which shouldn't be difficult at all. This is 1 comma 2. This is 7 comma 2. So the length is 6 here. There's 1 comma 2, 1. Difference in y coordinate is the length is 8. 6, 8 of course means 10 is the hypotenuse. You can use this if you want, or calculate area, depends. So straightforward. Just put this here. 6 plus 8, 14 minus 10, 4 by 2. In radius will come out to be 2 units. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question. The next question says x and y are real numbers such that this again, if you've done your previous year questions, you would have learned that in such a question, one of the things you must do is, and if you don't have options, you should be completing the perfect square. Complete the perfect square and use your brains to sort of manage the coefficients. You have 4x square. What is 4x square? Now, and you do have something in x and y. So 4x square means 2x whole square. Right? You have 2x whole square, and then you have a minus 4xy, and then you have lots of 4y squares. So it's very likely that this is going to work because you don't have an x only, right? You don't have a term that ends in only x with some coefficient. So that does mean your perfect square is going to be something in x plus something in y whole square, right? So 2x whole square we have. If this term were to be the 2ab one minus 2 into 2x, because we have a 2x whole square, minus 2 into a into b should be y then, right? This is minus 4xy. So I want to add a y square here to complete the perfect square. I hope this is clear. This is 2x whole square. This is minus 2 into 2x into y. And therefore, I want to add a y square to make this into a 2x minus y whole square. Super. What am I left with? I have used y square out of 4y square. I want to use, I'm left with 3y square. I'm then left with the minus 6y and a 3. Does this give me a whole square? It does, because if I take 3 common, I'm left with 3 times y square minus 2y plus 1, which is basically y minus y minus 1 whole square, no? We had a 3y square minus 6y, 3 taken common minus 2y. Yeah, this is exactly. This is y minus 1 whole square. So great. Now, if the sum of two perfect squares is 0, that is only going to happen if this is 0 and this is 0. And therefore, y must be equal to 1. And if y is 1, 2x minus 1 must be 0, so x must be 1 by 2. And therefore you plug in these values. 4 into 1 by 2 is 2, and 5 into 1 is 5, so 2 plus 5 is your answer, 7. I hope this is clear. Question 12 says, a function f maps the set of natural numbers to whole numbers such that f of x y is equal to fx into fy plus something something something. And f of p is 1 for every prime number. Great. F of p is 1 for every prime number, right? So, and because if it's f of x into y, some you know expansion of that, we'll basically have to break down this number into x and y, x into y, x into y, time and again, into prime numbers. So just to do it once, this is 1,60,000. That's 40, right? Yeah, 1,60,000. Now let's just prime factorize this once. This is 10 to the power 4. So 2 to the power 4 into 5 to the power 4, and you have a 2 to the power 4 here as well. 16 is 2 to the power 4. You get a 2 to the power 4 from here, 2 to the power 8. And of course, you get a 5 to the power 4 from this. Right? I'm basically doing this 16 into 10 to the power 4. So 2 to the power 4 and 2 to the power 4 combined to 2 to the power 8, and then 5 to the power 4 extra is left. This is the prime factorization of the number in question, 1,60,000. Now, just to do it once for one prime number. If I take out one prime number, so that would mean this is f of 2 into 80k. What is f of 2 into 80k? F of 2 into 80k is going to be f of 2 into f of 80k, 80,000, plus f of 2 plus f of 80k. Super. Now look, f of 2 is never going to matter. It's 1. In a product, it's not going to matter. It's 1. So this is f of 80k plus f of 80k plus f of 2. This is twice f of 80k plus 1. Good. So when we took out one prime number in one power, one single power, because that's all we can do, because of the value given, f of a prime number, f of 2, f of 5, that's going to be 1. We get this here. We've taken out one power and gone from 1,60,000 or 160,000 to 80,000. Now, what do we need? We need to understand what f of 60,000 is going to be. So this is going to be twice of f of 80,000. I'll focus on here. This one. F of 80,000 is basically 2 into 40,000. So 2 into 40,000 is going to be f of 2 into f of 40,000. I'm going to write this again once full, but I hope you catch the pattern here. Otherwise, you'll keep writing till eternity, essentially. This is f of 2 into f of 40,000 plus f of 2 plus f of 40,000. So, and of course, you had a plus 1 here. Now, f of 2 is 1. Ignore. This is 1. F of 40 plus f of 40. That's twice f of 40. 2 into twice f of 40 makes it 2 square f of 40k plus 2 into 1 is 2 plus 1, 3. Right? Having removed two prime numbers and reduced our 160k to 40k, we have a 2 square, and this is a 2 square minus 1. Right? If you again break this down into 2 into 20,000, you can try it. You will end up getting 2 cube f of 20,000 plus 2 cube minus 1 plus 7. 8 f of 20k plus 7. This is what you'll end up with. So what is happening every time we take out a prime number, right? From 160 to 80, 80 to 40, 40 to 20. For every single time we break it down once, we get a power of 2, extra power of 2. We have taken three powers of 2, one here, and once more here. We have a 2 cube, and here we had a 2 to the power 3 minus 1. Now, how many total powers of prime numbers do we have? 12. Right. So if we had 12, having done this process 10 times, if we do this process, I don't know, this is an internet problem. if we do this process 10 times, what are we likely to end up with? Right? Let's say 10 times means, you have you've basically taken out 2 to the power 7 one by one, and then 5 to the power 3, something like that. You factored it for factored everything, and now you're just left with 1 power 2, 1 power 5, which is 10. You're left with the number 10. So having done this 10 times, you will get 2 to the power 10 into f of 2 into 5, f of 10, plus 2 to the power 10 minus 1. This is what you'll get. That is what the pattern should tell you. Otherwise, you'll have to do this. You'll have to just do this till the end, and that's obviously it'll take a lot of time. Even if you're not doing this in the exam, right? You'll still end up. Spending a lot of time. And now, of course, is again, if you take it out one more time, you'll just end up, getting another power of 2. So 2 to the power 10 into what is f10? F of 10 is f of 2 into 5, which is f of 2 into f of 5. F of 2 into f of 5 is 1, because both are 1, plus f of 2 plus f of 5. Yeah. So that's basically 1 and 1, 3. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. So that's 3. F of 10 is 3. And then you have 2 to the power 10 minus 1. So this can be because 3 into 2 to the power 10 plus 1 into 2 to the power 10, oops, makes it 4 into 2 to the power 10. And then you have a minus 1. So, this is 1024 into 4, 4096. 4096 minus 1 is 4095. That's your answer. I hope this is clear. You want to do it full, please check. You can try, or you can also just run one more step, right? We've done till the 3 steps. Check the 4th step. You'll see that the pattern works. The next question says there are 3 circles of equal radii that touch each other. All 3 radii touch each other, but they don't cross each other externally. Fair enough. Okay. There are 2 other circles such that they touch both. Now that's only going to be possible. I'll have to make a nice clean diagram. Equal radii, 1 circle, equal another, and equal a third, right? Now my 2 circles are going to be 1 here and 1 outside. Should probably have used another color. It's okay. I'll use a different color now. Here, yeah. So if you've done any such question, when you join 3 radii, they're touching each other. This side becomes 2r, right? This is r, this is r. So this is this is r, this is r, r and r here as well, r and r here as well. And now what are we left with? This point is surely the center of what? Of this equilateral triangle. I have an equilateral triangle where all 3 sides are 2r each. And what is this point? In an equilateral triangle, this center is the center of everything. Is the in-center, circumcenter, is everything. Right? So the distance of this center from the vertex is known as the circumradius, is a capital R of this equilateral triangle. The formula for the circumradius of an equilateral triangle is side a upon 2 root 3. A upon root 3, I'm sorry. A upon root 3. So a upon root 3, a here is 2r, 2r upon root 3. Right? So this distance from here up to here is 2r by root 3. And this here, this if I extend it, is another r. Right? This is essentially the radius of this circle, right? This one. Great. So my outer circle, let me call that r. Oh, this much plus r. 2r by root 3 2r by root 3 plus r. What about the inner? What about the inner circle radius? The inner circle radius is also easy to calculate because I know this is capital R. I mean, capital R is in the circum radius of this triangle. The radius of this triangle, this circle. So from this, if I can subtract till here, small r, I'll get this smaller radius. Right? Let me make it very, very clear. From here to here, this center, this is capital R, the circumradius, 2r by root 3. Just subtract this distance till here, which is r, and I'll get the radius of this. I'll get this one, this shaded portion. So the radius inner, let me call it the radius inner, is 2r by root 3 minus r. So the radius of the larger circle, x is to y, means this radius is to this radius. So this can be calculated. R, just take r common. You're left with 2 by root 3 plus 1 upon r into 2 by root 3 minus 1. And you get this answer. Rationalize this. This is 2 plus root 3 upon 2 minus root 3. So multiply with 2 plus root 3, and this will become 2 square 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. So the denominator becomes 1. And you will have a 2 plus root 3 whole square. 2 plus root 3 whole square is 2 square 4 plus root 3 whole square, which is 3, plus 2 times 2 root 3, which is 4 root 3. So 7 plus 4 root 3 upon 1 is your answer, option 4. I hope this is clear. Question 14 says x and y satisfy the equation given. Okay, good to know. And mod x plus y is 15. Mod x plus mod y minus y is 20. What is the value of x minus y? Fair. If you've done CAT 2023 questions, then you would know what to do in this question. Start with assumptions. Good assumptions would include either assuming the sign of y or assuming the sign of x to start with. Let me assume that x is negative. Why am I doing this? Because if x is negative, this will cancel out and become 0, and I'll immediately get the value of y as 15. Because when x is negative, mod of x becomes minus x, and then plus x plus y is equal to 15. And I can check, is this even possible? Because if y is 15, then this equation should work out. Right? If y is 15, I'll get here x plus mod of 15 is 15 minus y, which is 15, is 20, which gives me x as 20. Now, is that possible? No. I started by assuming x is a negative value. I've obtained x as 20, which is a positive value, and thus x cannot be negative. No chance. So x is definitely positive. For sure, x is positive. So that gives me one equation, and that equation is 2x plus y is 15. What next? What if y is positive? Let's assume that y is positive. And then we'll see if this works out. If y is positive, then this cancels out because mod y is then y cancels out. At y positive, x comes out to be 20. Does it work? Let's check. If x is 20, we'll pull it here. 20 mod of 20 is 20, 20 plus 20, 40. Y will come out to be 15 minus 40. When x equal to 20 is put in here, y comes out to be minus 25. Now that's not possible. We started our equations by assuming y is positive. We ended up getting y is minus 25. Not possible. And thus y cannot be positive. Y must be negative. And therefore, if y is negative, mod y is minus y, and another minus y, our second equation becomes x minus 2y is equal to 20. You have two equations and two variables. You can solve this easily. Yeah. Um, yeah, just multiply this with I don't know. Yeah, just multiply this with 2. Subtract. You can do that. 4x plus 2y is 30. X minus 2y. You will add. You will get a 5x. A 5x is equal to 50. No, yeah, 5x is equal to 50. X comes out to be 10. And if x is 10, then y comes out to be minus 5. Just solve and you'll get these values. And therefore x minus y is 10 minus of minus 5, 10 plus 5, 15. I hope this is clear. These two assumptions are key. They'll help you solve the question fast. Otherwise, you'll end up spending tons of time. The next question says PQRS are 4 towns. One can travel between P and Q along 3 direct paths. Okay. Yeah, it shouldn't be. It doesn't say single arrow. Could be double. We'll see. Between Q and S along 4 direct paths. Between P and R as well. So there is there's a direct path between P and R. I think we shouldn't make this double or single arrow. We don't know yet. We'll see. P to Q direct 3, P to R 4, and Q to S also 4. There is no direct path between P and S. There are a few direct paths between Q and R, and between R and S. We don't know how many. Yeah, we don't know how many. Let's just say this is X, this is Y. One can travel from P to S via Q or via R or via Q followed by R. Fair. Or via Q followed by R. Doesn't say via R followed by Q. Doesn't say that. Yeah. Just P to S can be done from PQS. So P to Q in 3 ways, Q to S 4. So that'll be 3 into 4, 12 ways of going from P to S via Q. And then PRS would be P into 4 into Y. That's P to S via R. And PQRS would be 3 into X into Y. This is equal to 62 possible ways, which basically gives us an equation 4y plus 3xy is equal to 50. We can do a little more with this, factorize possibly, but yeah, let's just park it right now. And let's see what else the question has to say. One can also travel from Q to R either directly or via P or via S in exactly 27 possible ways. Q to R would be either X ways, or via P, that would be 3 into 4, 12 more ways. Q to R via P, and Q to R via S, right? This route. So that would be 4 into Y. This is 27, which basically means we have another equation, X plus 4Y is equal to 15. We're talking about number of paths, right? So neither is X more than 15, nor is 4Y greater than 15. So Y is a very small number. Y is a very, very small number. 4Y has to be less than 15. And Y also has to be a factor of 50, right? Because if I simplify this, if I simplify and write this in terms of Y, this becomes Y into 4 plus 3X. That's 50. Both have to be natural numbers here. Y and 4 plus 3x have to be natural numbers, both factors of 50. So, what kind of factors are we looking at? So that 4y is less than 15. Y can be 1. 1 is a factor of 50, yeah. Y can be 2. Y cannot be 3 because 3 into a natural number is not 50. 4 into a natural number is not 50. 5 is not possible, right? 4 into 5 is 20. So x will come out to be negative. Doesn't work. So y is either 1 or 2. Very simple. You just plug in here. No? Can y be 1? If y is 1, then 4 plus 3x has to be 50. That's not possible. At y equal to 1, 4 plus 3x equal to 50 means 3x is 40. That doesn't give us x as a whole number. It's not possible. So y is not 1. So y is surely 2. And if y is 2, 4 into 2, 8, then x is 7. So we have the value of y as 2, x is 7. The question says number of direct paths between Q and R. Number of direct paths between Q and R is x is 7. That's your answer. I hope this is clear. Oops. Let's keep moving. Now this question says 1 by 5 into 1 by 5 minus 1 by 7 plus 1 by 5 square is clearly a series question is equal to which of the following? Now what we can do in such questions is approximate. Look at the values, right? Look at the values of the terms initially. 1 by 5 is 0.2, and then try to match it to the options. 1 by 5 is 0.2, 1 by 5 is 0.2, 1 by 7. If you remember, 1 by 7 is 14.28%. It basically means the value of 1 by 7 is minus 1428. I'm just going to take this as 0.143. That's good enough. And then the next term is going to be 1 by 5 whole square, 0.2 whole square, 0.04 into 0.2 whole square, of course, is well, we can do this, or we can say 1 by 5 square minus 1 by 7 square is a square minus b square, which is a minus b into a plus b. It makes sense because this we've already calculated here, whatever this is 0.057. So this is 0.2 into 0.57, and here this is going to be, therefore this is 0.057. Just calculate that, and this is 0.2 plus 0.14, so it's 0.343. And then we don't have too much space. Let's look at these values. How are there these values changing? And of course, again, we have the calculator with us, as you would have had in the exam. So 0.2 into 0.057 is equal to 0.0114. That's what this is. Already at the second decimal place. Can't help it. What about this? This is 0.04 plus, oh sorry, not plus, into 0.057 into 0.343. This is already at the fourth decimal place. This is 0.00078,204. See, please understand how your values are changing. Your first term is already beginning from the second decimal place. Your second term is beginning from the fourth decimal place, likely. And I want to show you this, so that you don't worry about it. 1 by 5 cube is 1 by 25 is 0.008. 1 by 7 cube, I think we'll have to do that. 1 by 7 divided by 7 divided by 7 is 0.00291. 0.00, I'm just going to take it as 0.29 something, so it's 0.003. So this is 0.005. 0.005 divided by 5 cube divided by 125. So this has gone to the fifth decimal place, 0.00004, and that's an approximate value. Yeah. So second decimal place, fourth decimal place, fifth decimal place. You're not really adding value as such. You're just pushing your values to the next decimal place. The next one will end up with a sixth decimal place, seventh, eighth, something like that. So I think you can safely say that your first three values are sufficient. They're sufficient to give you your almost the entire of your answer. So I'm going to add these three terms: 0.00078,204, and the first term 0.0114, and we end up with a value of 0.12222. So yeah, in that ballpark, 0.1222 something. So 0.122, our answer should be here. Maybe there will be a change here. This is 0.0. I'm sorry, 0.0. So maybe our answer will be 0.0123ish or 4ish, right? Something of that sort, or maybe even a 5ish. See, these digits are not going to change. If you keep shifting from sixth place to seventh decimal place, they're not going to change. So these three values are almost the entirety of your answer. So let's check which of the options work for us. The highest option here is 7 by 408. right? Lowest denominator, highest value. So 7 by 408 comes out to be option 1 comes out to be 0.0171. What's up with the internet? 0.0171. 0.017. Can we go to 7 here? No. Had this been 0.013, I would still have had a doubt, or a 4 even. But 0.0171 is very unlikely. It's not going to happen, right? The next option, the next highest is 5 by 408. Now 5 by 408, option 3 comes out to be 0.01225 something. Now that's still possible. In fact, 0.0122 we had, so 0.01225 is okay. When this could likely be the answer, this should likely be the answer because 5 by 816 is half of this, right? So option 2 is going to be half of this, which is going to be 0.0. 1 to half is going to be 0.06. This is less than the value we've already obtained by the first using the first 3 terms. This is also going to be less than the value obtained. 7 by 816 is half of 7 of 408. So, it's going to be 0.008 something. So that's not possible. So 3 is the right answer because the first 3 to 4 terms add up approximately to the same value, and then the last few decimals can be ignored because their net value is very small. So I think this is a smart way to solve such questions, and CAT has over the past as well given you values where you could find the first 2 terms, sometimes the first 3 terms, and you could happily mark the option. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 17th. Question 17 says, Bina incurs 19% loss, sells the product at 4860 to Sham. So 81% of Bina's cost. 19% loss means 18% is the remaining value, 60. This is 81 into 6, right? So you can immediately calculate cost price of Bina. This 6,000 will come out to be 6,000. I divide this by 81, you'll get 60, and then to 100. Cost price of Bina is 6,000. Sham has bought this for 4860. Great. This is the I'm sorry. Yeah, this was the cost to Sham, right? This is the selling price for Bina, 4860, which becomes the cost price for Sham. Now, Sham sells this to Hari. Great. Had Bina sold this product to Sham at the purchase price of Hari, then she would have obtained 17% profit. The question is trying to say that the cost price to Hari is such that it is 17% more than 6,000 because that indicates a 17% profit to Bina. So 6,000 into 1.17 or just add 17%. My brain is not working. I'll just use the calculator. So that comes out to be 6,000 into 1.17. That's 7020. What is the profit made by Sham? Very simple question. The cost price of Sham is this. Sham is Hari at this selling price. This is the selling price for Sham. This difference you can easily calculate. 7020 minus 4860 gives you 2160. I hope the question is clear, right? Bina buys something for 6,000, sells it to Sham, who buys it for 4860, and then passes it on to Hari, where Hari's buying price is 17% more than Bina's cost price. So that is 7020. And therefore, this difference is 2160. That's it. Great. Let's move on to the next question. Great. Let's continue solving the question. Let's look at the next question. The next question says a fruit seller has a stock of mangoes, bananas, apples with at least one fruit of each type. Okay. And at the beginning, the number of mangoes make up 40% of the stock. So, 40% 2/5. The stock has to be a multiple of 5. Fair. And that day, he sells half of the mangoes and so on. I think 50 plus 50 we can take, no? would we be left with something? Half. We want half. We want half of the total fruits. If you're left with half of the total fruits, I want the number of fruits to be a multiple of 2, right? Because half, okay? And then 40% of the stock is mangoes. 40% of something is 2/5, right? So you want the stock of fruits to also be a multiple of 5. 2/5 of something would only make sense if they're multiples of 5. Half would only make sense if it's a multiple of 2. Pretty clear. Your total stock of fruits ought to be at least a multiple of 10. I hope that works. If it doesn't work, uh, we will be agile and change things, right? So mangoes, bananas, apples. So let this be a total of 10x initial number of fruits. Now mangoes make up 40%. So mangoes initially have 4x. And since the person is selling on the first day, 40% of the apples, 40%, right? 2/5. So you better have apples as a multiple of 5 straight away. Let's say it's 5y, 5 at whatever variable you want to take. So you're selling 40% 2y apples. You're left with, at the end of the day, 3y apples. See, if you're taking total 10x, it is prudent, right? It's prudent to, rather than introducing a separate variable, just say bananas is 10x minus 4x minus 5y. That's 6x minus 5y. 96 bananas are sold. And what was it? Half of the mangoes, half of 4x, 2x mangoes are sold. So this person is left with 2x mangoes. The person is left with 6x minus 5y minus 96 bananas. And the person is left with 3y apples. Sorry. And this total, right? 2x plus 3x minus 5y plus 3y has to be 5x because 50% fruits are sold. So I think even this is good. This equation is also good. We can use the next one as well. And this sum will therefore be 5x. I don't see any reason why these two should not work together in the sense that 2x plus 96 plus 2y is 5x. Yeah, that should work. That should work for sure. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, we can use either this or the next one. I'd be very surprised if it comes out to be any different. It shouldn't. It should be exactly the same. So let's just focus on this equation or the next one, which is if you've sold 2x plus 96 plus 2y fruits and you've sold 5x in total net. What is this? This is 3x is equal to. That's what it is, no? Now what are you trying to do? The smallest possible total number of fruits in the stock. You're trying to minimize total. You're trying to minimize 10x. You're basically trying to minimize x. If I want to minimize x, I better minimize y. That's all. I'll also have to make sure that none of my values come out to be 0. यहाँ कहीं 0 नहीं होना चाहिए, right? I mean, this ought to be positive. In fact, forget about this. This ought to be positive because you'll be left with at least some banana. You'll be left with something. 6y minus 5y minus 96 ought to be greater than equal to 0. In fact, probably greater than 0. So that's what you have here. If I'm trying to minimize 2y, if I just divide by 3, can I just write the equation as x is equal to 96 by 3, 32 plus 2y by 3. See, y is not really negative anywhere. If you really look at it, I mean 5y, 2y, 3y, right? We just have to make sure this equation works. It's a whole number because you want 2x, 4x, 10x, all these numbers to be whole numbers. So yeah, x will only be a whole number if y comes out to be a multiple of 3. So surely, I mean, base is this, nothing else given. The minimum value of y is 3. And we'll check, must make sure that nothing is negative. Minimum value of y is 3. You put y equal to 3 here, x comes out to be 34. Let's check this, right? Can x equal to 34 and y equal to 3 work out? the main thing to check is this. Is this positive? Surely this is positive. 6 into 34 is more than 200. 200 minus 15 minus 96 is very, very small, no? 1596 make up 111, and 6 into 34, it is exactly 204. This number, the number of bananas left at the end of the day, is significantly greater than 0. It's a positive number, and thus everything else is going to be a positive number. And therefore, the minimum number of fruits you can have in the stock will be 10x. 34 into 10, 340. That's your answer. I hope this is clear. I don't know what has happened to... I don't know if this is the internet or... Yeah, I hope this is clear. It's a good question, right? If you organize your data properly, you understand either this equation or this one, I'm sure you'll get the same result. And then you have to understand what to do. To minimize x, you minimize y. Y has to be a multiple of 3. You must check here because it is possible in some other question it doesn't work. That's it. Let's move on to the next question, question 19. Question 19 says 6x plus 6 root 2 to the power 1 by 2, and then something, something, something. X minus 6 root 2 to the power 1 by 2 is 2 root 2. The thing I understand with this question is I have an under root, and then obviously, I mean, what you can do is square, right? Squaring would be a simple solution. Just square the whole equation, and something good will happen, I'm sure, because it ought to work out. That's obviously one thing you can do, but then I think you'll have to square twice. You'll probably have to square twice to get a equation. May not turn out to be a nice equation. So I'm going to skip that because there is one more thing that I see, which is I have an under root. Within the under root, I have x plus 6 root 2. And then I have another under root. Oops, it's not plus, it's minus. And within another under root, I have another under root minus under root of x minus 6 root 2. And my net result is 2 root 2. How am I going to get just a root 2 here, right? Under root ke andar under root, I have 2 under roots. The only way this is going to happen, only way is, is if this is a perfect square. If this is a perfect square, you'll have a root 2. If this is a perfect square, you'll probably have a root 2. And then, this works out. Because then the under root here cancels out with the square of this, and you end up with a single under root. The second thing is, how can x plus 6 root 2 and x minus 6 root 2 both be perfect squares? If that is the argument, then the only way possible is if if this is a square plus b square plus 2ab, a square plus b square minus 2ab. So basically x should be square of something, a square plus b square in that form, and 6 root 2 2ab. And if that is the case, then it's not very difficult. You don't have too many cases. Then AB will be 3 root 2, right? AB will be 3 root 2. How many cases can you make from here? 3 and root 2, or 1 and 3 root 2? Just check for 3 and root 2, right? Can this be the square of 3 plus root 2? Just check, because when I do a 3 plus root 2 whole square, I will get 2ab as 6 root 2. And this, then just check. Let's just check first. 3 plus root 2 whole square is 9 plus root 2 whole square is 2. Sorry, not 4. It's 2 plus 6 root 2. Super. And yeah. So and if I this is 3 plus this is 3 minus root 2 whole square, right? So this is 3 minus root 2 whole square, because then this will give me 3 square 9 plus root 2 whole square 2 minus 2ab minus 6 root 2. And then you have an under root, you have a minus, square under root, bye, square under root, cancel out. What are you left with? You're left with 3 plus root 2 minus 3 minus root 2. This was the whole quantity inside, right? Square, uski zarurat nahi, we don't need it, because square and under root will cancel. 3 plus root 2, 3 minus 3 minus root 2. 3 minus 3 cancel out. Root 2 minus of minus plus root 2. So root 2 plus root 2, 2 root 2. Now that is exactly what your RHS is. That's what it is. 2 root 2. If that is the case, it means you have hit the nail on the head. X must be this a square plus b square let's say A is 3 and B is root 2. So 3 square is 9, root 2 square 2, this is 11. X will come out to be 11. That's your answer. I hope this is clear. Let's look at the next question. I think this is a straightforward question for those who have done these questions. You may have done Fermat theorem or something. If you've not done, it's not needed. Honestly, if you have done all that, it's I wouldn't even call it bonus. I think it's extra and unnecessary. You don't need anything of the sort. And such questions, what you should tend to do is look for a power of 3, which when divided by 11 leave a remainder of plus or minus 1. You want a plus or minus 1, right? So if I look at powers of 3, 3 to the power 1 is 3, doesn't leave plus or minus 1 when divided by 11. 3 square is 9. 9 is not that number. 3 cube 27. Not that number. 27 divided by 11 is 5. 81 divided by 11 leaves 4 as remainder, but 243 divided by 11. Right? Because 220, is a multiple of 11, so is 231, so is 242. So 243 will leave a remainder of plus 1. And 243 is 3 to the power 5. You can just change 3 to the power 333 in terms of 3 to the power 5. So, just write 3 to the power 330 into 3 cube, which is basically 3 to the power 5 to the power 66 into 3 cube, which is 27. Now divide this by 11. Because this is 243 into 243. It doesn't matter how many times it is. Because 243 into 243, bam, 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 many times. Every time you divide that by 11, every time you divide this by 11, you'll get 1. 1 into 1 into 166 times. But 1 can be multiplied 1,000 times, it still remains 1. And then 27 divided by 11 is 5. So the remainder you get is actually from 27. And the final answer is 5. That's option 3. I hope this is clear. Clear. It's a straightforward question. Sorry. Let's go back to let's go to the next question, which says alpha and beta are roots of the equation. Something 3x squared plus alpha lambda x minus 1. Because this is lambda, I'll ignore lambda. I'll just focus on the product of roots. Alpha beta is product of roots. I c by minus 1 by 3. Super. And what do I have? 1 by lambda square plus 1 by beta square. So let me simplify it as lambda square plus beta square upon lambda square beta square, which I can also write as lambda beta whole square. That's 15 for me. So just multiply, right? 15 into lambda beta whole square. Lambda beta product is minus 1 by 3. 1 by 3 whole square is 1 by 9. So lambda square plus beta square is 15 by 9. That's 5 by 3. I'm just going to get rid of the confusing dirt here, essentially. And we're left with 15 by 9, 5 by 3. So we have the value of lambda square plus beta square, lambda beta both. And what do we need? Lambda cube plus beta cube whole square. So if you know this factorization, a cube plus b cube, you know, right? A cube plus b cube is a plus b into a square plus b square minus ab. And square of that, super. Square of that I can write as lambda plus beta whole square and lambda square minus lambda beta whole square. So yeah, let's get rid of this square as well. Or we could have multiplied. And then, squared. Good. How do we get lambda plus beta whole square? What is lambda plus beta whole square? Lambda square plus beta square plus 2 lambda beta. That's the reason why I brought the square in. Because this we know now, right? Lambda square plus beta square we know. 5 by 3. 2 lambda beta we know. This will be minus 2 by 3. So this is 5 minus 2, 3 by 3 is 1. Super. Nothing. Will not affect the answer. 1 into anything is the answer itself. And this is also known to us. Alpha square plus beta square is 5 by 3. Minus lambda beta minus of minus 1 by 3. I guess gives us 5 plus 1, 6 by 3. This is 2. Okay, where were we? Okay, this is 2, right? This is 2. This is 2. Sorry, forgot the square, right? Square, 2 square. 2 square is 4. So you get a 1 from here and you get a 4 from here. 1 into 4, 4 is your answer. I hope this is clear. Which brings us to question 22, the last of this set, which says Anil invests 22,000 for 6 years, okay, in a scheme with 4% interest, compounded half yearly. compounded half yearly. 2%, 4% interest means 2% every 6 months. And if it's 6 years, it basically means 12. Time period is 12, right? Because there are 12 periods of 6 months each. That's how you do it. And then Sunil separately invests a certain amount in the same scheme for 5 years, and then the entire amount for 1 year at 10%, a simple interest, they receive the same amount at the end of 6 years. Fair enough. What is the amount Anil will receive? Simple enough. 22,000 principal into 1 plus R by 2. In half yearly compounding, we do R by 2, 4 by 2, 2%, by 100 to the power 12. 6 into 2, 2 parts per year, sort of. So, yeah, that's what it is. This is the amount Anil will receive. What will Sunil receive? Sunil invests, let's say, X. Same investment, 2% every 6 months. 5 years means 10 periods of half year, 10 periods of 6 months each. This is the amount received at the end of 5 years. And then this money grows at 10% for 1 year. That's the simple interest. Increase of 10% means a multiplying factor of 11 by 10. So yeah, that's it, right? This may look difficult, but it's actually not. 1 plus 2 by 100 to the power 10 cancels out. 1 plus 2 to the power 12. You divide both sides by 1 plus 2 by 100 to the power 10, you get square here. And if you simply divide 2 by 100 is 1 by 50. 1 by 50. 1 plus 1 by 50 is 51 by 50. So you have 51 by 50 whole square into 20 is equal to x into 11 by 10. We shouldn't even 22 by 11 is basically 2k, right? And 2k into 10 would become 20k. So I think 22k you can avoid. Just you don't need 22k, we need 20k, and 20k will be divisible by 50 square, no? So yeah, 20,000, 20,000. 20 is this. That is the value of x. This is easy to calculate, not that difficult. Yeah. So just calculate, go from here on. What I did here was, when you're making this equation, you will get a sense that because you have 51 by 50 raised to some power, 51 by 50 whole square, your final answer actually ought to be a multiple of 51. So the way I did it there was, having understood what is going to happen, I didn't bother solving writing, should be divisible by 51. So which of the options is divisible by 51? Option 2 only. You can check. I checked it. It's just one of the options. And of course, this calculation is not difficult. Kya hi hai is calculation mein? So 20,000 into 51 square is 51 into 51. I'd use a calculator. If you're very good at calculations, go ahead. If you're a bit lazy like me, leave it. Calculator hai. 25, 200 by 25 is 8. 8 into 51 into 51. Look at the unit digit, right? 8 into 1 into 1. Your answer has to be a number that ends in 8. So that's the only possibility here. I hope you enjoyed these solutions. Yeah. Thank you very much. You can look out for the other, right, VARC and DILR solutions of slot 2. Thank you.
Hello everyone, let's start the solutions of QA 2024 slot 3 quantitative aptitude. Now let's move on to question number 1. Now what does question number 1 says? The number of all positive integers up to 500 with non-repeating digits. Fair enough. And question doesn't mention that how many digit number we are talking about. So we have to talk about 1-digit numbers, 2-digit numbers, and 3-digit numbers. So how many 1-digit numbers you have till 500? So there are only 9 1-digit numbers, and we are talking about positive integers. So 0 will not be included. Now how many 2-digit numbers we have? So we have this. At first place, there are 10 possibilities, 0 to 9, but 0 cannot appear at the first place. So how many numbers we have? 9. At second place, we have 0 to 9, 10 possibilities, but 1 digit is already here. So how many digits we can place at the second place? That is 9. So how many numbers we are talking about? That is 81. Now, if I talk about 3-digit numbers, so how many 3-digit numbers we have with non-repeating digits? Okay. So at first place, how many possibilities we have? We can have 1, we can have 2, we can have 3, we can have 4. So 4 possibilities are there. Now, why 4? Because we are talking about up to 500. If you place 5 at the first place, the number is going to be greater than 500. So at second place, how many possibilities? Out of 10, one digit is here. So remaining are 9. At this place, how many? 8. Okay. So this comes out to be 32 into 9, that is 288. So what are the total numbers we are talking about? That is this. So that is 90 plus 288. So that comes out to be 378. So how many total numbers we are talking about? That is 378. And that's the answer of this question. Now let's move on to question number 2. What does it says? So it says, if a plus b root 3 whole square is equal to this, what is the value of a plus b? Okay, so I'm just opening this. So I am going to say a square plus 3b square plus 2 root 3 ab, and that is equal to 52 plus 30 root 3. Okay, so I can say that this should be equal to this. So I can say 2 root 3 ab, and that is equal to how much? 30 root 3. So from here, I can say that a into b is equal to what? 15. So it can be 1 into 15. It can be 3 into 5. It can be 5 into 3. And it can be 15 into 1. Okay. So 1 square plus 3 into 15 is square. Now this value is not equal to 52. So rejected. 3 square plus 3 into 5 is square. So 5 square is 25 into 3, 75, definitely greater than 52, so rejected. Now this is a is 5, so 25, and 3 into 3 square is 27, so 25 plus 27, is it equal to 52? Yes. So I got the value of a, that is 3, and that is 5. I got the value of b, that is 3. So what is the value of a plus b? That comes out to be 8. So my answer of this question is going to be this, and we can say this number is actually 5 plus 3 root 3 whole square. Now let's move on to the next question. What does next question says? Question number 3. So question number 3 says, after 2 successive increments, Gopal's salary becomes 187.5% of his initial salary. Okay, so let's say his initial salary is 100 and his final salary is 187.5. Okay. If the successive percentage of salary increase in the second increment was twice the first increment, then the percentage increase percentage of salary increase in the first increment is what? Fair enough. So I can use it, I can solve it by using variables or something, but I'm not going to do that. I'm simply going to pick up the first option. So if first increment is 25, so 100 becomes 125, then next increment is going to be 50%. Right. So next is going to be 50%. And what is 50% of 125? That is 62.5. And that value becomes 187.5. So here my answer is directly going to be option 1. I'm not going to think anything apart from this. So now let's move on to the next one. Now, a regular octagon ABCDEFGH has side length of 6 centimeter each. Okay, so I have this, this, and this. So this is 6, and all sides are 6. This is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, this is E, this is F, this is G, this is H. Area of square AC. So I'm joining this, then E, then joining this, then G, then I'm joining this. So this has become a square. Okay, and question is talking about what is the area of this. Fair enough. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to extend it, joining like this. Okay. So basically, if this side is, so basically, if we talk about regular octagon, so in regular octagon, the total angle that is given to us is 135 degrees. So this angle is 135, so this angle becomes 45. This angle is also going to be 45. So if this side is A, this side is also going to be A. So so the third side is going to be A root 2, right? And third side is 6. So this A comes out to be, so basically I can say A square plus A square is equal to 6 square. So from here I can directly say that A is going to be 6 upon root 2. Okay. So in this triangle, this side is 6 plus 6 root 2. And this side is, 6 plus 6 upon root 2. And this side is 6 upon root 2. So basically, what is the length of AC? And so basically what I can do, I can just simply use Pythagoras theorem. So that is AC square is equal to 6 plus 6 upon root 2 whole square plus 6 upon root 2 whole square. Right. Now, after that, should I calculate the value of AC? No, because question is talking about area of this. So what is the area of the square? That is AC square itself. So my answer is directly this. So I am just simply going to solve this and see which option matches. So this is A plus B whole square. So this is going to be 36 plus 36 upon 2, that is 18, plus this is going to be uh, 2 into 6 into 6, that is 36 into 2, 72, 72 upon root 2. Okay. And this is simply 18. So 36 plus 18 plus 18 means it is going to be 72 plus 72 upon root 2. Or I can say 72 plus 36 root 2. So I can simply say 36 common, 2 plus root 2. Do we have any option like this? That is option 1. So my answer of this question is going to be option 1. Now let's move on to the next question. It was pretty easy. Then let's solve this one. What does it says? So it says 3 power A equal to 4, 4 power B equal to 5, 5 power C is equal to this. Okay. So I have 3 power A equal to 4. Okay. Now it says 4 power B equal to 5. Now what is 4? 4 is 3 power A. So I can say that 3 power A power B, and that is equal to 5. So I can say that 3 power AB equal to 5. Okay. Now 5 power C is equal to 6. So from here I can say that 3 power ABC is equal to 6. Okay. Then 6 power D is equal to 7. So from here I can say that 3 power A, B, C, D, and that is equal to 7. Okay. 7 power E is equal to 8. So from here I can say that 3 power A, B, C, D, E is equal to 8. And 8 power F is equal to 9. So that comes out to be 3 power A, B, C, D, E, F is equal to 9. And 9 is actually 3 square. So what is the product of A, B, C, D, E, F? And that is equal to 2. So I can directly say that A, B, C, D, E, F, that is equal to 2. This is pretty easy question. I have written all these things to explain, but after the second term, you can understand that all the powers are eventually going to be multiplied. So after this, you don't need to write anything. You can directly figure out that powers are going to be multiplied only. And eventually they will be equal to 9. So that's how we are going to approach this question in the exam. Now let's move on to the next one. What does it say? Question number 6. So it says that Sam can complete a job in 20 days while working alone. Okay. Mohit is twice as fast as Sam and thrice as fast as I. Okay. So let's say efficiency of M is M. Efficiency of Sam is S. So twice as fast means 2S, and thrice as fast as Aina means 3A. And let's say this is equal to 6. So efficient, and why I'm taking 6 is specifically because coefficient of M is 1, coefficient of S is 2, coefficient of A is 3. So I have taken LCM of 1, 2, 3, and that becomes 6. Okay. So I can say that efficiency of M is 6, efficiency of Sam is 3, and efficiency of Aina is 2. Now, Sam can complete a job in 20 days, right? So if Sam can complete a job in 20 days and efficiency of Sam is 3, so I can say that total work is going to be 20. So this is what we, 20 into 3, that is 60. And this is what we have so far. They undertake a job with an arrangement where Sam and Mohit work together on the first day, Sam and Aina on the second day, Mohit and Aina on the third day, and after that pattern repeats. Okay. So Sam and Mohit on the very first day. So they are doing 9 units. Okay. Next day, Sam and Aina. So they are going to do 5 units. Third day, Mohit and Aina. So Mohit and Aina third day, they are going to do 8 units. So in 3 days, how much work is being done? This is going to be 9 plus 5, 14 plus 8, 22. In next 3 days, how much work is going to be done? 22. Okay. So 22 plus 22, 44. Now, how much work is remaining? 16, right? So, if I talk about next one day, so this is 9 units. So this is going to be 53. Then 8 units, 5 units, 53, 58, 2 units. 2 units means it is going to be, last date is going to be 2 units. Okay. Now, what question is saying? Question is saying that what fraction of the total work is done by Sam? So out of 60, how much Sam is doing? Okay. So on the first day, Sam is working. So Sam is going to do 3 units. On the next day, Sam is working. Sam is going to do 3 units. Okay. So Sam has done 6 units out of 22. 6. On the very next day, Sam is doing how much? 6 units. Out on this day, Sam is working. So how much he is going to do? 6 units. On this day, Sam is working. How much he is going to do? 6 units. So how much Sam is doing? Sam is going to do 24 units out of how much? 60, right? So it is going to be 6, 6, 18. Oh, I'm sorry. This is going to be 3 units. This is going to be 3 units. So it is total going to be 18 units. 18 units out of how much? 60. So how much Sam is actually going to do? That is 3 by 10 of the total work. So answer of this question is going to be option 1. That is 3 upon 10. Now, let's move on to the next one. What does it says? Question number 7. Now, let's see what does it says. The number of distinct real values of x that satisfies the equations. Okay. Now, this is a very different type of question. We haven't seen these kind of questions in CLAT before. So now let's see what kind of approach we are going to take. So basically, I'm going to start it from the right hand side, not from the left hand side. So the critical points are going to be between -2 and 2. Okay. So in this range, both are going to be negative. In this range, this will be positive, this will be negative. In this range, both going to be positive, right? Now, basically, what does it mean? The maximum function and minimum function. Maximum of x minus 2 means if x is 5 and this is 2, this is 2, right? So this function is going to take a value of 5. So whichever value is higher between x and 2, this function takes that value. Minimum function means whichever value is lower between x and 2, this function takes that value, right? So I am just going to start with the conditions that if x is less than -2, okay, then what will happen? This will be negative. So I am going to get minus of x plus 2. This will also be negative. So negative is going to be positive of x minus 2. And now if this is less than -2, so x is less than -2 and this is 2. So which value is higher? Definitely 2. If x is less than -2 and this is 2, which value is smaller? Definitely x. So 2 minus x. Okay. So this comes out to be x minus 2 plus x minus 2, and that is equal to 2 minus x. Fair enough. X cancels out. So from here, I can say that x is equal to 6. Now, should I take this value? Definitely not. Why? Because our original condition was x is less than -2. Okay. Now, so basically I'm not going to get any value, so this value is rejected. Now I am going to take the values in this range. So this is positive, this is negative. So I'm going to get x lies between -2 and 2. So it is going to be x plus 2 minus minus plus x minus 2, and that is equal to definitely x lies between -2 and 2. So higher value is going to be 2, and here smaller value is going to be x. Okay. So what I'm going to do, 2 cancels out. So I'm going to get 3x equal to 2. So x comes out to be 2 upon 3. Does it lie between -2 and 2? Yes. So I'm going to get one value. Now, if x is greater than 2, then this is positive as well as this is positive. So I am going to get x plus 2 minus x minus 2. And if x is greater than 2, then between x and 2, which value is greater? X. Now here, which value is smaller? That is 2. Okay. So I can say that 2 cancels out. Sorry, x cancels out. So I'm going to get 2 plus 2, 4, minus x is equal to -2. So from here, I can say that x equal to 6. Is it greater than 2? Yes. So how many values of x we are getting? 2 values. Now the thing is, if I'm going to get this kind of question in the exam, and if this is new to me, I'm not even going to solve this question. I'm just going to look at this question and I'm going to leave this question. So this is that kind of question that you need to have a very thorough knowledge about mod and maximum minimum function, and then only you can take it forward. Now let's move on to the next one. A train traveled at a certain distance at a uniform speed. Okay, so let's say speed of the train is s and it takes t time. Had the speed been 6 kilometer per hour more, so if speed is 6 s plus 6, okay, it would have taken this. Okay, had the speed been 6 kilometers per hour less, okay, then time would have been 6 hours more. Okay. So if I talk about, and in all the cases distances are same. So this. So if you see between s minus 6 and s, there is a difference of 6. S and s plus 6, there is a difference of 6. Right. So I need a number that is multiple of 3 numbers that have a difference of 6. Right. 640, is it visible? Is it visibly product of 3 numbers that are multiple of uh, that are at a distance of 6? I don't know. 800 800 is multiple of 40, multiple of 20, multiple of 8. I can't see. 780 is multiple of 13, 13 into 60. It is multiple of 6. It is multiple of 12. It's not multiple of 18. Okay. 720 is definitely multiple of 6, 12, 18, 30. So let's start with this option. Okay. So 720, I'm just starting with 18. 18 into 40. Okay. 24 into 30. Then 30 into 24. 36 into 20. Okay, fine. So the middle value is this. So S is 30 into 24. Okay. If speed increases by 6, so 36 into 20. Okay. Then it can be said as speed decreased by 6, so 24 into 30, time increased by 6. So if you see speed increased by 6, time decreased by 4, fair enough. Speed decreased by 6, time increased by 6, fair enough. So all the conditions are satisfied in this question. So my answer of this question is going to be 4. Now, if you don't, if it doesn't click you, then what is the approach? So basically, this is the total distance, this is the total distance, this is the total distance, and all 3 distances are same because train is traveling from one point to another point. So I am going to say ST is equal to S plus 6 into T minus 4. That is my first equation. So I am going to multiply and ST will be cancelled out. So I am going to get one equation in S and T. The second is going to be ST is equal to S minus 6 into T plus 6. Now from here I am going to get the second question between S and T. ST will be cancelled out. Now I can solve both the equations and get the value of S, get the value of T, and get the answer. But should I do this? Generally, I think hidden trial would do, and that would be a little faster approach. Now, let's move on to the next one. Question number 9. For any non-zero real number, fx plus this, what is the sum of all the values of x for which fx equal to 3? Fair enough. So I have fx plus 2 times f of 1 upon x, and that is equal to 3x. I am going to replace x by 1 by x. So I am going to get f of 1 by x plus 2f of x is equal to 3x. 3 into 1 by x. Okay. Now I need fx. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply this equation by 2. So I'm going to get 4fx plus 2f of 1 by x, and that is equal to 6 upon x. Okay. Now my first equation was fx plus 2f of 1 by x, that is equal to 3x. Subtract. This cancels out, so I am going to get 3fx is equal to 6 upon x minus 3x. So 3, this comes out to be 2, this is cancels out, and the question is saying fx equal to 3. Fair enough. So I'm just simply going to put fx equal to 3, and 3 is equal to 2 upon x minus x. So that is going to be 3 is equal to 2 minus x square upon x. So I can say that 3x is equal to 2 minus x square. So I'm going to get x square plus 3x minus 2, and that's equal to 0. Now question is saying sum of all possible values. So basically question is talking about sum of the roots of this equation. So what is the sum of roots of a quadratic equation? That is minus b upon a. So the sum of all possible values is equal to minus 3. So answer of this question is going to be option 1, that is minus 3. Now let's move on to the next one. Question number 10. Number of distinct integer solutions of this. Okay. So if I am going to draw the graph, so in this question, if you simply draw the graph, you don't have to do anything. You are directly going to get the number of integral points in this. So this corner point is going to be 1, 1, because this is 2. This point is going to be plus 1, minus 1. This point is going to be minus 1, minus 1. And this point is going to be minus 1, 1. So how many integral points we are going to get? 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, this is 8. So how many integral points we are going to get? 8. This is very straightforward. This point is going to be 1, 0. This point is going to be minus 1, 0. This point is going to be 0, 1. This point is going to be 0, minus 1. And this graph is very standard graph. So I think everyone should know this graph, and mod of x plus mod of y equal to a graph, and more likely you are going to get the answer of these kind of questions very easily and very fast. Now let's move on to the next question. What does it say? Question number 11. In a group of 250 students, the percentage of girls was at least 44% and at most 60%. Okay. So there are 250 students. Girls are 44%. So 44% of 250 is 110. Then the number of boys is going to be 150. The girls can be 60% as well. So 60% of 250 is 150. So boys can be 100. So the range of girls is this. The range of boys is this. Okay. The rest of the students were boys. Okay, that's the point. And the number of students, each student opted for either swimming or running. Okay, or both. Okay, so this is a question of set theory. 50% of boys and 80% girls opted for swimming, while 70% of boys and 60% girls opted for running. Okay. So if I talk about among the boys, so among the boys, let's say there are B boys, right? I don't know the exact value. So out of there are how many boys are there? 100% boys. This is swimming and this is running. 50% are opting for swimming. 70% are opting for running. And total sum is 100%. So what is this value? Intersection comes out to be 20%, right? Because 50 plus 70, 120. So intersection should be 20%. This is for boys. If I talk about girls, so again, I have swimming, then I have running. 80% girls opted for swimming, 60% opted for running. So 80 plus 60 is going to be 140%. So this value comes out to be 40%. Intersection, because total is 100% of the girls. Okay. So what is the intersection? Intersection is 20% of the boys and 40% of the girls. This is the total intersection value we have. And question is talking about maximum and minimum possible value who opted for both. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm simply going to first I'm going to take this arrangement 110 and 140. Second, I'm going to take this arrangement and see which option matches. Okay. So 20% of boys. So in this case, I'm going to get 28. 40% of the girls, I'm going to get 44. So both are going to be 72. That is my first arrangement. Okay. Now, what is the second arrangement? 20% of boys, that is 20. 40% of girls is 40% of 150, that is going to be 60. So both can be 80. So I know that maximum in so both lies between 72 and 80. So in that case, my answer of this question is going to be option 2, that is 72 and 80. Now let's move on to the next question. What does it say? Question number 12. The average of three distinct real numbers is 28. Okay. So basically, sum of the three numbers is going to be 84. So I can say A, B, C is equal to 84. A is the smallest, B is the middle, C is the largest. Okay. The smallest number increased by 7. So smallest number increased by 7. Okay. Largest number decreased by 10. Okay. So C minus 10. So this comes out to be A plus B plus C is 84, and there is a total decrement of sum is 3. So this comes out to be 81. Fair enough. Now the new arithmetic mean. So average becomes 27 because sum of all three numbers is 81. So basically average becomes 27. Now new arithmetic mean means that is 27 is 2 more than the middle number. It means it is directly saying that B is 25. The arrangement in new arrangement, average becomes 21. It at 27, and that is 2 more than the middle number. It means middle number should be 25. While the difference between the largest and the smallest number becomes 64. Okay. So largest number is what? C minus 10. Smallest number is what? A plus 7. And this difference is what? 64. Fair enough. So I can say that C minus A minus 17 is equal to 64. So basically it says that C minus A, that is equal to what? 81. So we got C minus A equal to 81. Fair enough. Now B is 25. So from the first equation, I can say that A plus C should be equal to 59. Right. So I am saying that C plus A equal to 59. If I add both the numbers, so I'm going to get 2C is equal to 140. That gives me C is equal to 70. And question is talking about the largest number of the original set, and that is 70. So answer of this question becomes 70. Now, let's move on to the next question. What does it say? Question number 13. Gopi marks a price on the product to make 20% profit. Okay. Now, if you see, this is an actual number. So I'm going to assume that cost price is 100x. He marks up by 20%. So mark price becomes 120x. Okay. Ravi gets 10% discount. So 10% of 120. So Ravi get a discount of 12x. Okay. Thus saves 15 rupees. So I can say, so basically, finally, he's selling at 108x. So 12x equal to 15. Okay. Then the profit made by Gopi is how much? So profit made is 8x and 12x is 15. So what is the value of 8x? So basically 8x is 2/3 of 15. So 8x is 2/3 of 12x. So this should be 2/3 of 15. So that comes out to be 10. So my answer of this question is directly going to be option 1. This is fairly easy. Now let's move on to the next one. What does it say? Question number 14. For some constant, the real number p, k, and a, consider the following linear thing. Okay. In the necessary condition that it has no solution. So if I have a1x plus b1y, if I have linear pairs, and it says that or plus c1 equal to 0 or equal to c1 won't make a difference. a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0. So what is the condition for no solution? That is a1 upon a2 is equal to b1 upon b2, and that's not equal to c1 upon c2. Okay, so here I can say that p upon 3 is equal to minus 4 upon k, and that's not equal to 2 upon a. So I'm just taking this and this. So this tells me pk is equal to minus 12. So pk plus 12 is equal to 0. Okay, and it says not 0, so rejected. Okay, now take this and this. So this says ap is not equal to 6. So AP plus 6 equal to 0. No. AP minus 6 equal to 0. No, not possible. This I don't know. This again not necessary. It may be a condition or not. Not necessary. So my answer directly becomes this. Anyhow, let's check with this. This and this. So that is going to be minus 4a is not equal to 2k. This is 2. So minus 2a is not equal to k. So I can say that 2a plus k is not equal to 0. And that is a necessary condition for this. So my answer of this question becomes option 3. And this is a very easy and very standard question. We have seen these kind of questions before. Now let's move on to the next one. Question number 15. What does it say? The midpoint of sides AB, BC, and AC in triangle ABC are M and B. Okay. So I am going to have a triangle. This is a triangle A. This is a triangle B. This is a triangle C. The midpoint of AB is M. BC is N. And AC is P. Okay. And this is the triangle we are getting. The medians are drawn from ABC intersect MP MN. Okay. So basically these are midpoints. So this is a midpoint theorem thing, right? So basically this is so this line, if I join the midpoints, this line is definitely going to be parallel to this. So triangle AMP is going to be similar to triangle ABC, where side ratio is 1:2. So ratio of areas is going to be 1/4. So this is 1/4 of the area. This is 1/4 of the area. This is 1/4 of the area. So this is what we have. Okay. Now, what does it says? I am joining a median. Okay. Then the second median. Then the third median. Okay. And these intersects MP, MP at X, MN at Y, and this at Z. Okay. So basically, this is definitely going to be midpoint. So I am joining a triangle. I'm joining the midpoints of a triangle. So this area becomes 1/4. This area becomes 1/4. This area becomes 1/4. So remaining 1/4 will be this area. right? So what is the area of triangle MNP? That is going to be 1/4 of area of triangle ABC. So how much it is going to be? 1/4 of 1440. So that comes out to be how much? 360. Now I'm talking about MNP. Now this is the midpoint, this is the midpoint, this is the midpoint. What is going to happen now? Again, I can say that area of triangle XYZ will also be 1/4 of this triangle. So basically, what is 1/4 of this triangle? That is 1/4 of 360. So this area is directly going to be 90 square centimeters. So my answer of this question is going to be 90. Now, let's move on to the next question. Question number 16. What does it say? A certain amount of water was poured in 300-liter container and remaining portion of the container was filled with milk. Okay. So, okay, and it was removed twice as earlier. Fair enough. So what is happening? I have 300-liter container, and out of that, some percent of water was there, right? Some percentage of milk, some percent of water was there. So I'm not solving this with 300 liters. Let me start with 100 liter. So out of 100 liter, there was some water, right? There was some water and some milk. Okay. So if I look at this question, I am rephrasing this whole question. If you read this question very slowly, I am rephrasing this question and completely. I have 100-liter pure milk. I am replacing it by some quantity, right? What quantity? Let's say X. Okay. Then what happened? I am replacing it by twice of that quantity, right? So 2X by 100, right? And that becomes 72, right? So basically, from 100 to 72, there is successive change, and one change is twice of the second change. How I'm going to get it? So can I say 10% decrement means 0.9, then 20% decrement, that is 0.8. Then can I say it is 72? Yes. It means in the first increment, I have taken out 10 liters of solution. In the second uh, 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 exchange, how much solution I have taken out? That is 20 liter of solution. And final amount of milk is going to be 72. So in the first exchange, so if I talk about initial arrangement, so in initial arrangement, how much water is going to be there? That is 10% of total. So and total quantity is 300. So what is the quantity I'm talking about? 10% of 300 is going to be 30 liters. So my answer of this question is going to be 30 liters directly. Otherwise, if you want to solve it by using some arrangement, then what is going to happen? You have 300 liters of this. Out of that, how much water you have? X liters water. And how much milk you have? 300 minus X. Right. So initial quantity of milk is 300 minus X. You are replacing it by how much? That is 2x initial quantity of water was there. So 2x by 300, and then uh, twice the quantity of water, and that is going to be 72% of 300. So that is going to be 216. Now solve this equation, get the value of x, you will get the answer. But should you do this? I'm not sure. It should be done like this. Now let's move on to the next question. What does it say? Is question number 17. Rajesh and Vimal own 20 hectare and 30 hectare of agricultural land. Okay. So I have Rajesh. I have Vimal. Rajesh is 20. Vimal is 30. Which are entirely covered by wheat and mustard crops. So I have wheat, mustard in both. The cultivation area for wheat and mustard land owned by Vimal are in the ratio of 5:3. So 5 wheat and mustard. So 5 by 8 of 30. So 5 by 8 of 30 is going to be Vimal has 30. Okay, so 5 by 8 of 30 is going to be 150 divided by 8. And it is going to be 90 divided by 8. Okay. The total cultivation or area of wheat and mustard. Oh, so total area is 11 is to 9. So what is the total area we are talking about? That is 50. Out of 50, how much is wheat? That is 11 upon 20 of 50. Okay. So let's say this is x, this is y. So 11 upon 20 of 50. So that is going to be how much? 2.5. So 2.5 is going to be 27.5. So wheat area is 27.5. So mustard area is going to be 22.5. Okay. So, okay, let's solve this. So 150 upon 8 is going to be 1.25 less. So 18.75. Okay. So out of total wheat area owned by Vimal is 18.75. Total wheat area is 27.5. So how much is the wheat area? That is going to be this minus this. That is going to be 7.5. 7.5 plus 1.25. So that is going to be 8.75. Okay, so this is 8.75. So what is this area is going to be? That area is going to be 11.25. Now question is saying cultivation of this, that is 8.75 is to 11.25. Now this is going to be 7 is to 9. So my answer of this question is going to be option 3. That is 7 is to 9. Now let's move on to the next question. What does it say? Okay. Consider the sequence this, and what does it say? Okay. And the question is talking about T2, T4, T6, and so on. And it is talking about this. Okay. So T2 is given to us as -1. So what is the value of T4? T4 is equal to 4 minus 3, that is 1, upon 4 minus 1, that is 3, into -1. So this value is going to be what? -1 upon 3. Fair enough. If I'm talking about T6, T6 is 6 minus 3 is 3, upon 6 minus this is 5, into -1 by 3, that is T4. So this comes out to be -1 by 5. Fair enough. If I talk about T8, that is going to be how much? That is 5 upon 7 into -1 by 5. So this value becomes how much? -1 upon 7. Okay. So if I talk about 1 upon T2, that comes out to be -1. 1 upon T4, that comes out to be -3. If I talk about 1 upon T6, that comes out to be -5. If I talk about 1 upon T8, so that comes out to be -7. So basically, if I look at this series, so this series is -1, -3, -5, -7, up to -2023. So I'm going to talk about this 1 plus 3 plus 5 up to 2023. So, and these are odd numbers, all odd numbers. So 1 to 2024. So 1 to 2024, there are 2024 numbers. Now, how many numbers are odd? 1012. How many numbers are even? 1012. So basically, I can say from here to here, 1 2 odd numbers are there. So what is the sum of all those numbers? So this is an AP. So average of AP is first term plus last term divided by 2 into number of terms. That is 1012. So this becomes -1012 whole square. So this is a square. So basically this should be ending with 4, and there is only one option ending with 4. So that is going to be option 3. So my answer of this question is going to be option 3. That is -102414. Now let's move on to the next one. Question number 19. What does it say? So it says 10 power 68 divided by 13. What is the remainder? Fair enough. So if you do not know any theorem in such kind of questions, so what is the approach we should take? We should make a pattern, right? It can be solved by Euler's theorem, or it can be solved by your Fermat's theorem. But if you don't know any of those theorems, so without those theorems, what should be the approach? So I'm making a pattern. 10 divided by 13, remainder is 10. So basically, whenever you have a question of remainder, so what is the general approach? Just replace the number by the remainder itself, right? So 10 square. 10 square is 100. 100 divided by 19, remainder is 9. Then I'm talking about 10 cube. So 10 cube is 10 square into 10, right? So 10 square is 9 and 10 is 10. So 90 divided by 13, remainder is 12. Okay. Then 10 power 4. So 10 power 4 is 12 into 10, that is 120. So remainder becomes 3. Okay. 10 power 5. 10 power 5 is 3 into 10 is going to be 30. 30 means remainder is 4. And 10 power 6, 40 divided by 13 is going to be 1. So we make a pattern until unless we get a remainder of 1. Okay. So basically, I know that at 10 power 6, my remainder is 1. So 10 power 68 can be written as 10 power 6 power 11 into 10 power 2. So at this, remainder is 1, 10 power 2 remainder is 9. So 1 into 9, my remainder is going to be 9. So answer of this question is going to be option 2. Now let's move on to the next question, question number 20. Now what does it says? What is the approach we are going to take? Okay. So let's say this number is t, sum of all distinct values. Okay. So t plus 4 upon t is equal to 81 upon 2. Okay. So t square plus 4 is equal to 81 t. So I'm taking t common in the LCM and multiplying with t. So I'm going to get 2t square plus 8 and that is equal to 81t. So I can say 2t square minus 81t plus 8 and that is equal to 0. Now question is saying sum of all possible values. So what is the sum of all possible values? I can say it is sum of the roots itself. Now what is the sum of roots? That is 81 upon 2. So alpha plus beta and that is equal to this, right? So can I solve this? Okay, so let's solve this itself. So this is what is the approach? So okay, so all the sum of all 10 power alpha plus 10 power beta, and that is equal to 81 by 2. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Okay, now what is the approach we are going to take further? This alpha, okay, sorry, it shouldn't be alpha plus beta, it should be t1 plus t2. That is equal to 10 plus 10 power x1 plus 10 power x2, that is equal to 81 upon 2. Fair enough. Now let's talk about product of roots, that is t1 into t2, and that is equal to c upon a, that is 8 upon 2. So this comes out to be 4. So 10 power x1 into 10 power x2, and that is equal to 4. So from here I can say that x1 10 power x1 plus x2, and that is equal to 4. Right. So now how we are going to solve it? Now if you see, all the options are in log. So take log on both sides on base 10. So I am going to get log base 10, 10 power x1 plus x2, and that is equal to log base 10, 4. Okay. So that is going to be x1 plus x2 log 10 base 10, and that is equal to 1 itself. That is equal to, I can say, log 4 is 2 square. So this becomes 2 log 2. So is it there in the option? Yes, that is option 4. So answer of this question becomes option 4. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question, question number 21. Now let's see this question. What does it says? I'm gonna invest 4,000 in a bank at a certain rate of interest compounded annually. If the ratio of the value of investment after 3 years, the value of investment after 5 years is this. Okay, so after 3 years, the amount is going to be 4,000 into 1 plus r by 100 power 3. Okay, here I'm going to say it is 4,000 1 plus r by 100 power 5. So after 3 years and 5 years, the amount becomes 5 by 6 whole square. Okay. So the ratio of amount that is given to us. Okay. 4,000 cancels out. This cube cancels out with the square. Okay. So I can say 1 upon 1 plus r by 100. That is equal to 5 by 6. So I can say 1 plus r by 100 is equal to 6 by 5. So I can say that rate of interest is 20%. Now the question is saying that amount exceeds by 20,000 means amount should be greater than 5 times, right? So basically, if you are investing 1 rupee and after how much time it becomes greater than 5, right? So this is what we are talking about. So after 1 year, 1 becomes 1.2. 2 years, it becomes 1.44, right? After 4 years, after 2 years, this. Okay. After 4 years, then it is going to be square of this, right? So after 4 years, it is going to be close to 2.1 or 2.2, something like this. I'm just guessing. So it is after 4 years, my amount is going to be this. After then, I'm just squaring the numbers, right? So this is this after 2 years, after 1 year, after 2 years, after 4 years. So after 8 years, it is going to be 4.41 or something like this, right? Now 20% of this number itself is going to be 0.8, right? So in the ninth year, amount definitely going to exceed 5, right? So how many years it is going to take to exceed 20,000? That is going to be 9. So if you are in any confusion in the exam, just do one thing, keep on multiplying 1.2, 1.2, 1.2 and see in how many years the value becomes greater than 5 and you will get the answer. So here I'm approximating, but when you are going to solve this kind of question in the exam, I know everyone will be scared of approximating the value. So what your job is, just keep on multiplying with 1.2, 1.2, 1.2 and see how many times you are multiplying with 1.2 and your value becomes greater than 5. So in that case, your answer is going to be 9. Now, let's solve question number 22. What does it say? It says that a circular plot is divided into two regions by a chord length 10 root 3. Okay. And the chord subtends an angle of 120. The chord length is 10 root 3 and it subtends an angle of 120 degree on the center. So this angle is 120. The area in the, so basically question is talking about this region and this length is given to us as 10 root 3. And this angle is given to us as 120. I am joining vertex to midpoint. Okay. So if this is 120, so this is going to be 60, this is going to be 90, this is going to be 30. Opposite to 30, now this is total 10 root 3, so this is going to be 5 root 3. So opposite to 60, you have 5 root 3. So opposite to 30, you are going to have 5 and opposite to 90, you are going to have 10. And we can see that in 30, 60, 90 triangle, this is 30, this is 60, and this is 90. In 30, 60, 90 triangle, ratio of sides is 1 root 3. Sorry, it is going to be x root 3 and 2x. I'm using this concept to calculate the sides, and this is 10. Okay. So I need to find out this area. So how we can calculate this area? That is, we can just calculate the area of the total sector minus this triangle and we'll get the answer. So what is the sector area? That is theta by 360 means 120 upon 360, that is 1 by 3 into pi into r square, that is 10 into 10, 100. Okay. So so this area becomes 100 pi by 3 minus area of this triangle. So what I can say, area of this triangle into 2. So that is going to be 2 into 1 by 3, 1 by 2 into base, that is 5 into 5 root 2, 5 into 5 root 3. So this 2 comes cancels out. So minus 25 root 3. Okay, so here I can take 25 common, 4 pi by 3 minus root 3. 25 common, 4 pi by 3 minus root 3. So here answer of this question is going to be option 2, that is this. And that's how we are going to solve this question. And with this, all the solutions are done. Thank you.